right, it is the 7th of July, and I'm checking that out courtesy of this very nice Mifit I got from Jami. However, welcome to the show. This is Bishara Tuesday. Hashtag Bishara Tuesday is how we're known all across social media platforms at KUTV_Kenya, at Richard_OKENYE. You see, my name kind of rhymes with KUTV Kenya, so it shouldn't be hard to find that online and tag me in whatever it is that you want to, talk about this morning, because it's all about business here and the economy and technology as well, all the way to 10 in the morning. So ensure that you give me all that feedback on social media and also on the live stream that we'll be doing on Facebook, KUTV Kenya, and also on YouTube, KUTV Kenya Live. So check those out as we go on with the show so that we can interact all the way to the end. Someone is lying, and it's not me. It's either the government or the Kenya Association of Manufacturers, KAM, or the government, because as of last week on Tuesday when I stood here, there was an issue of the shortage of dollars in the country, and manufacturers were saying that they are getting those at a rate which is being offered in the black market above 120 Kenyan shillings to $1. However, central bank through its governor, who is now being quoted saying that there is no shortage of dollars in the country. However, when I looked at the dailies, Pwani Oil has temporarily shut down its Kilifi refinery over the shortage of those US dollars. So if they've shut down this refinery because the prices of key raw materials and of palm oils have risen since last year, and getting that requires dollars which are at a shortage, and the government is saying that or the Central Bank of Kenya is saying that there's no shortage of dollars. Someone is lying, and we're going to find that out, and you can be checking it. The story is on the Standard on the second page there. Cooking oil crisis deepens as the farm shuts down due to lack of raw materials and the shortage of dollars. We'll be taking a look at that, but also, if you think you're the only person who defaults on rent, if you are one of those, President or former President Mwai Kibaki defaulted in rent that is worth 36 million in debt, and Parliament wants the Kenyatta International Convention Center to write off that 36 million worth of debt, and that's there in the Business Daily. Just a very interesting side story that I saw there. However, the big stories which are happening all across the dailies, ranging from politics to business and everything else in between, is that first of all, in politics, that 57 was the number of candidates who are looking to ascend to the seat of the presidency as of last week. However, IEBC has narrowed that down to only 4, which include the Azimio Coalition's candidate Raila Amolo Odinga, DP Ruto, Wajakoya, who is also running through the Roots, who's running for that seat through the Roots Party of Kenya, and of course, someone else as well, Walter Mungare, who was initially cleared by the IEBC. However, his ticket has been he's been denied to run for that seat because he lacks a degree certification, among others, including Jimmy Wanjigi, who's been locked out from that presidential race. So it's a 4-horse race as of the moment. We'll be taking a look at some of those policies, because I see here Raila Odinga's policies, and his manifesto is what is spread out also on the Standard and the Daily Nation. Get to interrogate what he's saying. He has a couple of pillars which are what are his plans to do in the first 100 days in power. We'd love to see everyone else's manifestos and policies in regards to what they're going to do into the future. So make sure you're tuning in into the show. We'll be definitely going through them as we also take a look at what has happened in the world in the past 24 hours. In business, so much is happening, especially on the Business Daily. I'll have a look at that. Safaricom launched last week their global payment card, and that is through the partnership with Visa. You can now be able to remit and make payments on the international front through that Safaricom Visa card, global pay card, and I'll be informing you how you can get to activate that through your M-Pesa app and also the My Safaricom app. So much is happening, but we'll definitely have a look at that because we have 3 hours of that. So it's exciting for you to be joining us this morning. Now, a conversation that you don't want to miss out as well here happening this morning. Of course, I always try and speak to the experts and see what they have to tell us and what kind of efforts are being done out there to help the youth empowerment and all of that. And youth empowerment is one of this big conversation we always have, and it's a very center focus this morning, especially in the world of academia and also getting yourself skills online and through other guys who are offering that. Trace Academia has been there since 2003. Early 2000s. I'll be getting if it's actually 2003, but I think I am correct on that. And they are offering free courses and certifications for all the people who try and sign up. I'm taking a look here. I've been looking at their website and their mobile app that offers those free courses and certificates. And it's going to, they're seeking, or their aim is to bridge that gap, or to try and address the issue of youth unemployment. So how do you land yourself a job? How do you get yourself soft skills? How do you learn about entrepreneurship? How do you ensure that your future is secure through Trace Academia, unlimited free learning that they're offering? I'm going to be having a talk with one of them here this morning, who is Susan, the business development manager over at Trace Academia. She'll be joining me here on set just in a short while, so don't go too far. Any questions that you might have, be checking out their website as well. That is traceacademia.com. Very simple, straightforward, traceacademia.com. We'll be having a conversation around that, so it's important that if you have any questions, you'll be shooting them through to us. Another team that is very focused also on that will be joining me as well, so I'll tease that a bit into the show, so you don't want to miss out. It's all about youth empowerment happening here on the show. Right about now though, I am going to be looking at Mathri Route on Twitter, and that is also at your updates. If you're out there on the road, or if you're heading out and you have any information, tuambie what's happening, kunaendeleaje huko, traffic updates, and then utuambie alternative routes. Expressway, I was taking a look at a tour of the expressway that someone has done. Interesting African traveler, calling himself African Traveler. A free plug there on YouTube. You can check it out and see some of those developments which have happened in the Nairobi Expressway. The BRT is supposed to be launched this month or next month, so we'll be having a look at that and see how you can prepare yourself. But make sure that you are giving me your updates first of all, so that I can update those guys who are going out for work or for business, ndo wakue rada na wafike kazi mapema. So tune into the show, live stream as well. As I said earlier on, make sure you're checking that out. This is the biggest business and technology show on this side of the Sub-Saharan. Welcome. My name is Richard OKENYE. I'll be your host all the way to the end. Don't go too far. Let's kick it. Right. Bishara Tuesday, hashtag Bishara Tuesday. I see already some guys here who are sending their updates on Facebook and also on Twitter, tagging me already. So continue doing that. Tell me where you're watching from as well. If you want to give a shout out to anyone or someone you want to wake up this morning, ambaye lazima tune into this. Youth especially, empowerment is a conversation we're having here this morning. You don't want to miss out any bits of that. But as I'm seeing here, the update, 7:05 in the morning, commuter train from Roiro is currently at the Mutindo Market stage. This majestic beast needs a proper station, and that is a video I'm seeing here courtesy of Umoja News. So watu Umoja, fika pale Mutindo muende kazini. Confirmed there was a train that rammed into a construction truck which was in a hurry trying to cross ahead of its that is in Ruiru as well. About 5 people are confirmed dead as of yesternight. So if you have any information on the developments of that as of this morning, I see here a very mangled wreck of this truck, and ensure that you're giving us any updates, or also as we send out our condolences to those families which have been lost through that accident. There's also another accident along Wayaki Way at Regen heading towards Udhiru. A rider has been hit by a shuttle. So three people are also presumed dead. This is coming from John Kwach Jeche. At Kimende, limited visibility. Put on the lights, slow down, and have a safe journey as you're heading out there. Larry Ndiwa informing me on Twitter. Before the Genius Expressway, there used to be a U-turn on Mombasa Road opposite Capital Center. And that has assisted in offloading 50% of the traffic towards the Nyayo roundabout. However, right now they are saying there's no turn there, and travelers on that road are demanding for the U-turn to come back. That U-turn had to be eliminated. Apparently, reason being that those who are trying to get to Capital Center with oncoming traffic outbound either caused congestion from inbound, or if there was an accident, it will be quite mind-boggling to try and clear that out. I don't know if that is an informed answer, but if you're aware of what exactly why they took that U-turn off, tell us, but do know that is unavailable for you. Wayakiwe hakuna jam, ni moja kwa moja hadi Menti House vile naona hapa from Osoro KE, so kama unaelekea uko sawa. Mombasa Road sliding smoothly, enjoy it before the usual traffic is back in a few minutes, obviously. Massive fog from Limuru to Naivasha on the Nakuru-Nairobi highway. So come on, head out of Nairobi, be aware that the visibility is only about 20 meters from the information I'm getting here. There's an overturned pickup at the flyover area as well after the junction to Thika towards Naivasha. So be aware of that information. Shouldn't the expressway exempt ambulances from the toll charges? I didn't know that they are also being asked to pay for the toll charges. Kwani namna gani? Don't monetize it so much. Yeah. Yesterday, I used the Northern Bypass, Ruaka Kikuyu Southern Bypass route, which is 56 kilometers. But he's saying that it took him more than usual. So I'd love to know whether it's traffic or the stretch has just gotten longer. Bad accident along Wayakiwe Regan, as I also said earlier on, involving a narrow Klein Shadow and a border. 3 lives are confirmed to be lost so far. So please stay safe on those roads. Don't rush to work. There's nowhere to go that is that urgent more than this life that you already are in. Give me those updates. I'll be sure to update you as we go on with the show. Hashtag Bishara Tuesday. Tag me at Richard_Kenye. However, right about now, let me have a look at also what has happened in the world in the past 24 hours, and then we can continue with that and business. Remember, the conversation on Trace Academy is happening right about now. If you're someone out there who wants to get free learning, free courses, and certification that can get you a foot or right footing into the world, don't go too far. This is where you need to be. I'll be right back. All right. Last week we spoke about SIM swap fraud, which is something that has been happening recently. So it guys are doing identity theft through SIM cards, and people are losing millions of money. However, how do people get to access some of your private personal data? We did a piece some time back on hacking, exactly how it works, how you can find yourself vulnerable to guys who are online just trying to get access to much of your information or transactions or anything that is personal to you. So let's get a look at our piece on Tech Voice about hacking as we prepare to get that conversation on Trace Academia on free learning and getting yourself some skills online and certification. So let's get to it.
Whenever you hear news about a data breach, you may wonder exactly what hackers can do with your information. As it turns out, quite a lot. Anyone who uses a computer connected to the internet is susceptible to the threats that computer hackers and online predators pose. If you don't know exactly why attackers want to steal your data, it's difficult to plan effective measures for stopping them. So, let's see a few of the things that they can do. Identity theft is a process of stealing your personal information, like your name, address, and email address, and using it without your consent. Identity theft can happen to anyone. and the effects can be more than just an inconvenience. They can then use your personal information in a variety of ways for their own gain and at your expense, buy lavish items, or even receive medical treatment. Sometimes, hackers want to steal your data so that they can hold it for ransom. This type of attack is a ransomware attack. Hackers can gain unauthorized access to data and then proceed to charge a ransom in order to restore your access to it. Servers and cloud storage spaces are expensive. Some hackers want to break into your system so that they can store data and host applications on your infrastructure instead of paying for their own. Unfortunately, some attackers want to steal your data just to prove that they can. They are not motivated by monetary gain, access to free resources, or the ability to steal your user's identity. They simply want to prove to themselves, and their hacker friends maybe, that they can break past your defenses. While there's no shortage of ways hackers can use your information, and there are no foolproof methods to preventing that from happening, take precautions and catch signs of hacks as early as possible. There are some measures you can take to make yourself less vulnerable. This has been Tech Voice with Richard OKENYE. Catch you in the next one.
Free learning from the world's expert as well as opportunities to kickstart your career. That's a very interesting angle that Trace Academia is taking, and it's also something you should be hoping onto. If you're out there mtaani and relax, you're wondering, how exactly do I go forward? How do I get myself more skills? I don't have enough money to, get myself another degree or, get some certification from elsewhere. But Trace Academia is here, and I'm having a conversation with Miss Susan from Trace, ambaye atanisaidia ku understand exactly how that's going to happen. If you have any questions, remember we are streaming live KUTV Kenya on Facebook, #Bishara Tuesday. Tag me up and I'll be forwarding those questions to her as you go on with the show. Welcome to set.
Thank you very much.
Right, it's lovely to have you here.
Yeah, thank you for having me as well. Yeah.
How long have you been with Trace? I think I was asking that question before we came in, and then we can begin with a conversation on it.
I've been with Trace, this is my 3rd year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What does a business development manager do?
What do? I wear many hats.
Yeah.
I run the commercial side of the business, basically looking for business, looking for clients. And then I also layers between Trace and clients, maintain the relationship and grow the business.
All right.
Yeah.
You're saying that there's free courses and certification over at Trace. And what is Trace for the guys who might be hearing this for the first time? I know it's been there since 2003.
Yes.
Yeah. What is Trace Academia and who's behind the creation of this?
Okay. Trace Academia is basically a mobile app that offers free courses and certificates. And these are basically dedicated to jobs, entrepreneurship, and soft skills. Yeah. So
what courses are there on the application?
Currently, you'll find courses from Google where they give you how to manage your business if you're an entrepreneur, on socials. If you're a creator, that's where you should be. If you're looking to start a business or you want to look for clients online, that's the course you'd take. We also have courses by Visa, which they give you mastery in entrepreneurship. So they give you everything from accounting, your books. Sometimes you open a business and you don't know how to run the business.
Right.
So they give you the steps from when you start a business, how to register, what you need, and then how to run your books to ensure at the end of the day, what we all want in a business is to make a profit.
Right.
Yeah.
That's some very, very specific and tailor-made for anyone who's looking to advance. So
Yes.
What's the difference then between the courses and certifications that are offered?
So the courses is, course takes you like 1 to 3 hours, depending on the learner. We're all different. So it takes 1 to 3 hours and it just gives you one skill. Well, at that time, the certificate, you have to take a minimum of 4 courses, and you have to pass the 4 courses to get a certificate, which is then given between Trace and the client who sponsored the course.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there are clients who do sponsor the course?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so for the young guys who might not afford to, as I was saying earlier on, maybe it's difficult to advance or go get more certification or courses.
Yeah.
Is there a charge per certificate or per course, or how does it work?
No, as I said, it's a free app. So what we do is you'll just need to download the app on iOS or on your Google Store. So it takes you like 30 MBs to download the app. So once you download the app, the courses are free. Okay. As long as you have data, you have access to internet, the courses are free at no charge. Yes.
And what we'll say is the attractive angle of Trace Academia. Why is it important that people hear about it and also sign up?
Okay, why is it important? It's what we bring to the table. We give you soft skills as well. We've partnered with brands that have the master in that sector. So if I talk about Visa have been there for long. So they help your business grow. So they work with you the journey. So they're experts in the business. We are not the experts. We just provide the platform. Okay. So we work with the experts who then we co-create the courses for the students.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a recent increased move into technical skills, and even the Ministry of Education has urged that those who've completed their high school, they embrace some of these technical institutions to get these skills, And this is, of course, because the market, that's what it currently demands, people who are active and who have some technical skills to offer. So how does Trace Academia fit into this vision of the future for Kenya?
Okay, based on the skills we're giving you practical skills. I think if you, download the app so that you can understand what you're talking about. If you're on TikTok, you will enjoy the app because you have the same interface. So you actually get videos. So you get guys showing you how taking you through each course, and then we also have entertainment. So as you're doing an exam, it gives you a badge. So we give you engaged. By the end of the day, it's what skill do you get out of it? It's a skill that you will, even if you're employed, you will add to your employment, to your employer. It gives you a bonus. If you're not employed, it gives you an opportunity to start your own business. It actually gives you an edge in the market.
All right.
Yeah.
So you are seeking to solve the issue of unemployment.
Yes. Our mission is actually to tackle the unemployment in the youth. That is our mission as Trace Academia.
All right.
Yeah.
How do you think it fits? How do you think Trace Academia fits now into that aim to eradicate unemployment? Because it's on the rise, really.
Yeah, unemployment is on the rise, and unfortunately, the way the system is, you have to get a certain marks for you to qualify for campus or to get to tertiary university. And for us, we tell you do not have to have the papers. What you need is a mobile phone. And as long as you have the internet, you have access to internet, we give you an opportunity to further your education. So your education does not stop because you do not have the qualifications for campus or you do not have the money to go to campus. We give you that opportunity for free. Yeah. All right. So that is our way of tackling the unemployment. And as I said, we've partnered with some brands. So some of these brands, we're also looking at ways for offering internship. As you finish the course, and let's say you're the top 3 students in the course, then we see if we can get you opportunities to have an internship at the company.
You do offer a hand right after, of course, finishing the courses as well, not just leaving the guys out there after they
not everyone, because again, we cannot give everyone.
Yeah.
But it's something we are working with the organizations to see if they can also intern the top students.
Yeah.
So it also inspires you to as much as you're taking the course, let me get bigger rewards. Yeah. Let me get bigger marks, higher marks, so that I can get the opportunity to work at Visa, to work at MasterCard Foundation, to work at Google.
Right.
And you never know what opportunities are there.
That sounds nice.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should be signing up already. They'll miss me at work next week.
I hope you've downloaded and you've taken one. You've signed up.
Yeah,
for one.
I've had a look.
Yeah, because what happens once you download it asks you about your interests. So based on your interest, then it shows you courses that align with what your interests are. Yeah.
All right. And as you said, you can't offer you can't offer a hand to everyone who's outside or after they've taken a course.
Yeah.
And with I think 290 million youth who've already gone through the platform, how do you ensure that you're taking care of everyone's everyone's specific need or whatever it is they're signing up to the platform? That's a huge number to take care of. How are you guys doing it?
Yeah, we are always, with technology and with life, you're always looking for ways to improve, ways to advance. So we also have interactions with the students as you're taking the course. Yeah, so that engagement helps us to grow the brand as well as get courses that are relevant to the students.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe please do take us through the the journey from downloading to signing up to just starting a course. How does that look like?
Wow.
Just a rough look.
The first step is if you're on Android, go to Google Store. If you're on iOS, go to iOS Store. Look for Trace Academia. It's in blue. Download it. So as I said, once you download, it will ask you, because we are currently our courses are in 3 languages. So you have English, French, and Portuguese. So you you choose your preference language, which is English, at least for me. So once you choose English, then as I said, it will ask you what are your...
There are many other languages as well, right?
3. There are 3 languages:
okay.
English, French, and Portuguese.
Okay.
Yeah. So then it will ask you what are your interests. So you'll choose maybe from fashion, from music, from business. There's so many categories. So once you choose those, then it's the app gives you courses that are related to what you've chosen. But beyond that, you can always research and find out which other courses are there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So the first step is download the app.
Right.
And interact with the app.
Yeah, I like the bit where it also asks what your interests are, because I think that's also tailor-made for you to, not be scattered out there, because you're offering a lot on the platform, right?
Yeah.
And the entertainment aspect, the fun aspect, the interactive side of the app, appealing to the younger audience. Why do you feel that's important at the moment?
Okay. Since it's free and it's on the phone, remember you can take your course at any time. Yeah. I'm sure here you have classes where you're told Maths 101 is between 8 and 8:30. Then you have IT between 3 and 4 p.m.
Yeah.
So this one, you manage your time. So even if, let's say, for example, you're in number 3, going home, going to wherever, you can still do your app. You can still do your course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you can do it on the go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice,
Yeah. So
nice.
that's the edge. So and then what we do is we make it engaging. We use videos. We use gaming, so that you're engaged throughout. It's not a boring class that you're just there. Yeah, uko for 3 hours. Uko to hey, watch nikunywe maji kwanza, come back. No.
Yeah.
The whole point is to keep you engaged. So we make it user friendly. We make it entertaining. Yeah.
How much time does it take to complete a course on the platform and get certification?
So a course takes you 1 to 3 hours. And then a certificate will take you, as I said, you need to do a minimum of 4 certificates. So if you do 4 times 3 hours, it gives you an average of 12 hours.
That's super convenient and quick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's the whole point.
That's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
Now, if I don't pass the test your knowledge at the end of a course, can I take it again? Or how does that work now?
Yeah. Sometimes, maybe you're excited, you peruse Nini and said, I'm ready. You take the exam and the test, and then, oops, sorry, you didn't make it. You still have another chance to redo the exam.
Okay.
Then, unfortunately, if you don't succeed again, then now you have to wait at least for 72 hours before you can take it a 3rd time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any other help that I get when I am signed? Let's say I've already signed up for the course, and there's some difficulty I encounter along the way. Is it possible for me to reach out to management or to get some sort of help in navigating through the course?
Yes. On the app, you'll always find a place where you can seek help, and we have guys who are on it 24/7, so they'll always respond and help you. Yeah. Remember, at the end of the day, for us, it's to help the youth. So we're also hands-on in ensuring that you have a smooth journey, you have a smooth session, if I may use that word.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe are there certain things that you will say? Maybe before I get into that, before I get into that question, I have gone through the 844 system, right?
Yeah.
And there are others who've gone through the IGCSE system and all of that. Mtu amemaliza high school and then they've gone to campus. So if someone is straight out of high school and they're like, you know what, I don't want to go to campus, I don't want to go to college, I just want to do trace. I just want to do trace for the rest of my life. Is that going to be possible? And will it be a better alternative or an alternative at the very least?
It is an alternative. As you said, even if those, like now, there are students who finished Form 4, they're waiting to be called to campus. You have that window, which you can still gain more soft skills. You can gain skills as you wait to join campus.
Join campus, yeah.
If you finish and you don't want to do campus, this is an alternative, a
Okay.
very good alternative. And as I say, we keep developing courses. So what you find today is not what you'll find next month. We keep adding. The whole point is to keep adding and meet the market needs.
Oh yeah, because I was going to ask with how things are changing so fast.
Yeah.
Technology, political, social.
Yeah.
You are keeping up to date and keeping with the pace, right?
Yes, we are. Yeah.
Okay.
And as we get feedback from the current students we have, use the word students. As we get feedback from them, we learn of what more they want, what more they need. So it's, as Trace Academia, it's up to us now to ensure that we answer the market, we respond to the market's needs, and ensure we satisfy the market.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it safe to call Trace the school of the future, in quotes, as I was saying, so that we don't just label it like that? Because of its fun, entertaining aspect, interactive, and also how quick it is to go through the courses.
Yes.
Is this where we're headed?
That is where we're headed.
Yeah.
Well, it's, technology. You guys are live in this place.
This studio.
In this studio,
Yeah.
we can watch you on Facebook, we can watch you on YouTube, we can watch you on IG. So the opportunities are there. Technology is advancing every day, so you have to be ready to advance. And for us as Trace Academia, we want to be the leaders. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Would you say you've significantly helped in reducing unemployment since Trace began way back in 2003? Do you have success stories maybe you can get to share or hear about?
Okay, for Trace as the brand, we are a global platform. So, and we're dedicated to Afro culture and success. So for us is to entertain and empower our youth, especially because we target the 18 to 35, to stand up and shine. So we work a lot with creators. So you'll find us working with artists, musicians. You'll find us showcasing their music. You'll find us helping them grow their music. We have TV stations across the globe. We have radio stations across the globe. Our TV stations are like 26. Radio, we have like over 100 digital radio stations. So we have a distribution arm where we help artists distribute their music. So we help them record, distribute, and promote their music.
Nice.
So we're in the business of promoting artists and the creators. Yeah.
Of course, that has helped significantly in alleviating the issues of unemployment, especially in a continent where platforms like those are rare.
Yes.
So it's really good to see Trace do that. How does the future look like for Trace Academia specifically? And Trace as a brand, if there's something you'd like to know. I was avoiding going the Trace brand direction.
No, Trace Academia. The future is bright. We've seen from the sign-ups that people actually demanding, if I may use the word demanding, they're actually demanding more, and they're willing to spend time to gain more skills. Yeah. So you're not just employed and sitting in the office 8 to 5, but you want to add on to that, whether it's soft skills, whether it's personal skills for you to manage your own money in the house. It's guys are looking for skills.
All right.
And we are happy that we are able to tackle the unemployment as well, and also help the youth to add their skills, practical skills.
Is there maybe lastly that we can get a look at before maybe we also remind people on how they can get this? Is there a possibility of maybe collaboration with schools, institutions to offer these courses on the side, or you don't want any contamination on that side of the world?
Opportunities are there. Remember, we're not choosing who our partners are.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not choosing. It is what do you bring on board that helps us tackle the unemployment, the youth. Yeah. So we are willing to work with the education institutions. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so
we are hoping that means you're going to help us work with KU.
Kenyatta University. When a Vice Chancellor, if you're watching this, you already know. That's how we do it. Trace Academia is a conversation we're having. Guys who are online, if you have any questions, you can send them, and be checking out the mobile application on iOS and also on Play Store. They're offering free courses here. I'm perusing through the website, which is you can also check a look at traceacademia.com, and courses on the go, free courses on the go from the world's best, and their mission for you is to success and empower you to learn as for free, as well as give you opportunities to find and create your dream job. Maybe before we get back to Trace Academia, you mentioned a little bit about content creators and musicians and artists and all of that in the larger Trace brand.
Yeah.
I know probably half or more than half of those who are watching this morning are creators and artists. How can they plug through that network before we bring this conversation back to academia, so that I can give them some breadcrumbs as well?
Okay. Wow. How they reach us? They can reach us on all our social platforms. Yeah. So it's Trace Eastern Africa on Twitter, IG, and Facebook, and we'll respond back to them. I mean, also it helps if you interact with the brand. Yeah. So on radio in Kenya, in Nairobi, we're 95.3 Trace FM, and then you can also watch Trace Muziki. You can catch it on DSTV or GoTV.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Trace Academia. Now, finally, for guys who want to download, make sure you're doing that. TraceAcademia.com. I think there's also here a very easy link to access the app, right?
Yeah.
Right. So be checking that out, and maybe your appeal now for the guys who might want to. But Johnny, it's very hard for mtu like courses tena kusoma tena namna gani, so maybe an appeal from you, just a personal appeal to them, for the guys who are at home, on why they really should be signing up to Trace Academy, and that it's something that's helpful for them. I know I am definitely going to take a couple of courses here, and I'll be giving my feedback. Yeah. Which one is of interest? Finance. Finance. Yes. Okay. I think I've been having an issue with personal finance. You don't get to learn this in the normal curriculum in school. Not to throw shade. However, I didn't learn taxation or balancing my personal finances and
even filing your taxes, which is due by end of the month. So right. It helps you prepare.
Yeah. So I've been using this course, this show, as a free course, getting to talk to experts like you. However, I'll be getting more from world experts through Trace Academia. So an appeal to them to ensure that they're downloading this. Yeah.
I mean, as I say, you only need 30 MB. If you're where you have free Wi-Fi, I mean, the best app for you, just go to Google Store, Trace Academia, look for it, download it, interact with it, share feedback. We appreciate feedback so that you can help us grow and meet the market needs. Remember, unemployment should not set you back. You can always be your own employer. You can employ yourself and be your own manager. So let's do this.
All right. Susan Mushemi, Business Development Manager over at Trace, having that conversation with me. If you missed any bits of it, we are definitely uploading that on YouTube. Very interesting conversation on how you can get yourself free skills, certification, and as well a footing into the world of careers and opportunities that are all there. The universe is an infinite resource. I always say this, and one of those resources that you should be taking advantage of is Trace Academy. I'd love to hear your feedback as you check it out throughout the show. However, asante sana, Susan, for coming through.
Thank you for the opportunity, and we look forward to working with Kenyatta University in the future endeavors.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll be taking a short break, and then I'm coming back with much more conversation on #Bishara Tuesday. Business, economics, and technology is what we are speaking about here, so don't go too far.
Driving and riding without incidences on the road is such an amazing experience. But do you know, while many road traffic crashes are avoidable, human behavior continues to be the leading cause. Speeding, lane indiscipline, drunk driving, distracted driving, failure to wear a helmet, and failure to use available pedestrian ways have been flagged by NTSA as the fatal 6 behaviors likely to lead to a fatal crash and serious injuries. As part of the Usalama Barabarani campaign, we request all road users to prevent these fatal 6 behaviors for their own safety and that of others. When driving, ensure your speed is within the stipulated limits. The road ahead is clear before overtaking. Stick to your lane. Keep left unless carefully overtaking. You're well rested if driving on long distances, and you never drink and drive. Usalama Barabarani starts with you. Fika Salama. This message is brought to you by the National Transport and Safety Authority and the European Union.
today we continue with our series on fine dining, where we are going to be preparing one of my favorite meals, and that is chicken, which is going to be served with lioness potatoes and a mix of vegetables, the main vegetable being French peas. So grab your recipe books and let's get cooking.
The percentage in which government is giving opportunities to this specific type of groups under the AGCO, like what percentage has the government given?
No, but like I said, you see, when a budget is done for every year, every ministry will be able to place their budget for it. But whatever is given to them, 30% of the budget for that ministry is dedicated to AGCO. 30%. So if let's assume, for instance, that a ministry is given 2 billion, for instance. Now, 30% of 2 billion would be about 600,000? 600 million. That will be dedicated to AGCO. And therefore, when you go to a ministry, as a young person, as a person living with disability, 600 million is actually meant for you.
This is The Agenda with Bentura Komboka and Colonel Retired Cyrus Oguna.
To the Church O'Clock Show. I'm your host, Esther Becky.
And my name is DJ Kettle.
We start you off with a word of prayer and get you started with a live transformational worship experience. And have our minds renewed by the word of God on the word segment.
And not forgetting new music za hii wiki, yani ndakuwa bado nawapatia pale wasanii wamekuwa kiwakali. So make sure manzo tune in, because zitakuwa zina flow pia pale mixes kwa wingi, yani zitakuwa zina come through, and pia performance yani from our gospel artist hapa on Gospel Art
from 7 to
10 a.m. only on KUTV.
Access to knowledge, solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your rights and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more, only on Law Matters.
All right. Bishara Tuesday still on air. Hashtag Bishara Tuesday. Pale kama uko pale mtandao, kindly tell me what's up, what's going on, and where are you watching us from. We'd love to know that on that hashtag. Remember, we are streaming live on the KUTV Kenya Facebook page. Ukifika pale hivyo, I'd also love to kuona maoni yako. I'm seeing a couple of guys who are tuned into the live stream, and also Shady Comedian is the one I'd like to shout out first. Shady Comedian was tuning in all the way since the beginning of the show. KE anasema representing Bahati Estates. Asante sana Shady Comedian for tuning in. On Twitter, I'm also looking at the hashtag Bishara Tuesday, and I see also guys here, Mula, Ed, Wakopale tuning in, Ambugi with Dahudi, and Ochot Odong. I'm tuning into the show. You guys have interesting names when you're roll 9. I hope that's also what will be there on the roll call to go to on the last day. Yeah, kuja hapo na Twitter handle zenu at Ochot Odong, at Mbugi with Dahudi. The dailies. I have here the Standard, the Business Daily, and the Daily Nation. I am torn where to begin with, but I think as always, let's take a look at politics first. Just a bit of politics because also that's business, especially here, because I see Raila Odinga saying that he has plans for the first 100 days to ensure that he grows the economy and renews his fight against corruption by ensuring that senior officers who are involved in graft cases are resigning, and once they have been resigned, those dockets will be reassigned, and that's Azimio's vision in building on the gains that have been already secured in the culture of self-advancement. And they're saying that they want to kill the culture of individual self-advancement and ensure that kuna shilingi kwa kila Mkenya. Wanaita shilingi mkononi, according to the poster that I just recently saw. So that is coming amidst Raila's manifesto is spread out on the Daily Nation and the Standard as well. It is coming out in light of the recent IEBC kicking out of jokers in the race for the presidential seat. Out of 57 aspirants who began the journey to succeed President Uhuru Kenyatta, only 4 have gotten clearance from Chairman Wafula Chebukati to vie, and this has dealt a big blow to some independent and others who failed to meet the basic requirements. It's there in page 6 of the Standard, and also I'll be getting where it is on the Daily Nation. However, the 4 who have been cleared right now are the Deputy President William Ruto of UDA, the Kenya Kwanza side, Azimio la Umoja candidate Raila Odinga, Roots Party of Kenya, Professor George Wajakoya has also been cleared, and Agano Party leader Waihiga Mwaure. Those are the 4 who are going to be in the race for the presidential ticket. It's the shortest list since 1992 elections. So all the other 47 independent presidential aspirants fell along the way, and they've been locked out. One man who was cleared earlier, Walter Mongare, who was already cleared to run for the presidential ticket or for the presidential race, has been dropped by IEBC chairman Wafula Chebukati, citing lack of the happenings that were there at Bomas of Kenya. Independent presidential candidate as well, Muthiora Kiriara, was seen yesterday burning his voter's card after he was disqualified from running for that presidential race. I wonder, he wasn't going to vote for his MCA or governor or MP. It's all about him. Yeah. Anyway, he's burnt his voter's card, and Kenyans are asking if he is bold enough. That is Kenyans on social media asking if he's bold enough, he should burn his ID, national ID, and then you can see how that goes from there. On page 4 of the Standard, you get Azimio's plan for Kenya's first 100 days if it wins poll, and the agenda is premised on economic revolution, social transformation, and good governance. 100 days, they've put there some of the plans, and I think the most interesting was number 8 of his plans, which was ensuring that everyone is getting water into their boma, water to everyone. But stimulus, 6,000 bob per household, as of according to Raila Odinga, will be given to every vulnerable household, and this will start even in the first 100 days. He's also promised to unveil his own Baba Care, which is the universal health care that is called the Baba Care. If we know about Obamacare over in the United States, so it looks like there's nothing new under the sun. However, you can get to interrogate some of the promises that he's giving to the economy and also his plan to slay the graft dragon. Mr. Odinga, comprehensive foreign policy to promote Kenya as well, and the plight of widows and single mothers, something that the President Uhuru Kenyatta also mentioned during the Madaraka Day celebrations, saying that we should try as a nation to safeguard the family structure, which is saying is under attack in the country, or not currently in good position. Page 3, something else that is also not in good position. I said earlier on, someone must be lying, either the Central Bank of Kenya or the Kenya Association of Manufacturers, but I'm going to take the side of the manufacturers because I doubt that they will close such a big business such as OKENYE Oil, which is temporarily shut down the Kilifi refinery over the shortage of US dollars. So the cost of cooking oil is expected to further go up after one of those, the biggest, OKENYE Oil being one of the biggest oil manufacturers, shutting down because of the lack of crucial raw materials, which they purchase using the dollars, which are at shortage. So if you've seen the prices right now of cooking oil, you should be scared if this is going to go any further. And I think I should link that to what is there on the Business Daily, which is the cutting of the fuel subsidy. 26 billion fuel subsidy cut, the budget for stabilizing pump prices, and this means that we are staring at another increase in fuel prices. Currently, the biggest headache in the country, which is affecting everything, including the cost of living. And 26 billion, the 5 billion in allocation is the number of is amount of money which has been given currently to the fund from what was there, 31.7 billion. So they're cutting 26 billion. And this means the oil marketers are going to, have to get this from their pockets, and costly petrol is going to hit all the pumps. A political headache for the next government, which will be either the government of Azimio la Umoja, the Kenya Kwanza team, the Roots Party, or the Roots Party of Kenya, and the other fourth candidate from the Agano Party, and that is of course, there, as I said earlier on, only the 4 who are going to be taking care of that headache of the fuel subsidy. So kama uko pale nje, you're someone who's expecting the liter to go down from 150 Kenyan shillings, which is currently retailing at a liter of petrol, and I think 130 for diesel. 130 for diesel and 150 for petrol. So that is what is happening, and that is going to be hitting us in the next few months. Going on in the Standard, you can get to read much more of politics. I think that's also there in page 7. The best interests at heart, the DP tells women, and UDA is going to agree that they are going to give some irreducible minimums and sign a charter ahead of elections to to help all. They have something for the Mama Mboga, that's what they're calling it, Mama Mboga, common mwananchi, common wanjiku out there. And this is, of course, in light of DP Ruto saying that he will not be showing up to the presidential debate, which has been organized, and saying that the media is currently biased against the Kenya Kwanza team. If that's something that you also think, you should read page 10, where Kenya Kwanza Alliance's running mate, so that is Rigathi Gachagua, also claiming that the media coverage is skewed in favor of the Azimio side. Do you think we are skewed in favor of the Azimio side? You can tell us in the your thoughts as well of that. Also, if you feel that this is the right direction, according to DP's campaign communication director, Hussein Mohammed, who has been in the media for the longest as well. So therefore, probably has some information on how that skew or that kind of bias is looking like. The government is also making efforts in trying to combat issues of insecurities in some regions of the country, such as Marsabit and also over in Baringo. And I'm seeing here in the Standards page 11, over 200 illegal guns have been recovered in a Marsabit operation. Interior CS says the government targets to recover 5,000 of those illegal guns, and blames the clashes in the counties on the hiring of chiefs, which is an interesting story. That is also just right next to Governor Mandago, who's been accused of training a militia group, and he's however come out, the Uasin Gishu governor has come out to deny those claims. So insecurity is there in page 11 of the Standard. I think that's as much as I can give out on the Standard. You can get to read what is happening on matters of Safaricom and Visa. It's somewhere pale katikati wanaongelea how you can get to unlock e-commerce deals on the international platform through Safaricom, and they're banking on their partnership with Visa to ensure that the two firms, which they did launch this last week on Friday in Nanyuki, and this transaction which are going to happen will be subject to current M-Pesa limits. That's one thing you should know: 150,000 per transaction and 300,000 per day. And this is also being prevailing those foreign exchange rate, and you're going to receive an SMS with the prevailing exchange rate after every single transaction. So you should not worry how those rates are looking like. But here you can get to take a look at some of the 5 important things you need to learn before you sign up for that platform. It's easy as ABC. Just log into your M-Pesa app or My Safaricom app, and you can be able to get that option and read here on the Financial Standard, a story that is spread there for you to learn. On the back of the Standard, learn more on I always say the Kenya Premier League is the most interesting bit before you can get to look at the international front, where much more is happening in the EPL, and also now that teams are in an international break, you can get to see their performances, from Messi scoring 5 goals to others not scoring at all, to Kylian Mbappe getting 88.1 million Kenyan shillings per week over at PSG. Jamaa alipo 88.1 million Kenyan shillings per week at PSG, and he's saying, show me the money, give me some more, or I'll just leave this place and go to Real Madrid. So get to read more on that in the Standard. The Business Daily, as I said, it has all the business that you need this morning, and what you can get to read in the markets, where to invest in, the fuel subsidy that I already mentioned, and Pwani Oil, of course, temporarily shutting down. That is the biggest story that is there in the Business Daily. Get to read that. And again, on the Daily Nation, Raila's canon, his promise for the nation in the first 100 days if he becomes the next president of the republic. However, an interesting story coming out of the coastal region as well. Sonko winning reprieve over that Mombasa race. Judges have withdrawn orders that restrained the Electoral Commission from allowing former Nairobi governor to contest for the gubernatorial seat over in Mombasa County. However, Mr. Sonko is not out of the woods yet, and you can get to have a look at that in page 11 of the Daily Nation, where he is going to be, looking at a couple of petitions to see whether he can, of course, get to run and be clear to, try his shot as becoming the next governor of Mombasa County after being impeached as the governor of Nairobi. Those stories on the Standard are also here on the Daily Nation. The road to State House, all the 4 candidates who've been cleared to run for that, and the promises from various candidates. As I say, also interrogate and see what you can get from this, and whether the policies are making any sense, or it's just echoing sentiments that have been there, over and over again. We've seen these promises, and we'd love to know if there's anything different that they are doing this time round. The Smart Business and the Healthy Nation are the pull-out segments of the Daily Nation. I'd love you to tell me what you think about that, and I'd be interested to give you what my thoughts are, especially on the happenings in the world of business. Just a few moments ago, we had a discussion with guys from Trace Academia, which is a brand under the larger Trace brand. I know you know about Trace Urban, Trace Mziki, Trace Radio, Trace Global. In short, if you want to get free courses, free certification, advance your skills, and learn much more, if you're employed or unemployed, if you're at work or not at work, these are courses that you can do on the go. I sat down with the business development head here from Trace, who's Miss Susan, and she told me that it's stuff that you can do even when you're in a matatu getting off work. 2 hours, 3 hours, you're done with the course. 4 times 3 hours, you're done with the certificate, and you can get yourself a footing in the real world. They also do give you a helping hand trying to secure internships and also job opportunities for free. So check them out, traceacademia.com. And also, if you're an artist or a content creator who would like to plug into the larger Trace brand, get your content out there, get yourself into Airplay through Trace TV and also other platforms that they have, and sure you're reaching out to them on the social media platforms. I'll be looking at other things that are happening in the Daily Nations to update in the dailies to update you as we go on with the show. So tune in, don't go too far. I'm just hizo ni vitu nimeguzia juu tu so that I can hear what your thoughts are. If you have the Star People's Daily, pia niambie your thoughts on the stories that are there as you also try and compare what the editorials have this morning. Right about now, I'm going to also have a look at the bulletin from last night. What are the headlines looking like? How can we navigate the next week in business and politics and the economy, and also stay safe so that we don't lose money, and also updated with the technological trends. So don't go too far. Hashtag Bishara Tuesday at Richard_Kenya. I'm coming right back. Welcome back. Let's get a look at what has happened in your world for the past 24 hours. And to begin with what I had already hinted about, the chairman for the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, Chairman Wafula Chebukati, has rejected the applications by Safina Party's presidential candidate, Jimmy Wanjigi, to be registered as a presidential candidate for failing to provide a degree certificate, amongst missing other requirements by the commission. Let's have a look.
Safina Party's presidential candidate Jimmy Wanjigi is the latest presidential casualty in the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission checklist, missing a chance to bid for failing to provide a degree certificate. The business tycoon's application also failed to meet the required minimum number of supporters, as it fell short by one county, apart from missing the required minimum number of officers for presidential election mark. The agitated Jimmy, angered by the outcome, spoke angrily before his microphone was switched off, with the IEBC chairman Wafula Chebukati asserting that the commission operates within the law. The commission also revoked the nomination certificate of Umoja Summit Party presidential candidate Walter Mungare, who was cleared to run for the country's top seat on the 2nd of June, owing to the lack of a degree certificate. Other presidential candidates whose applications have been rejected include Eliud Muthiora Kariara for not meeting requisite number of supporters and supporters' ID copies, and Thirdway Alliance Kenya Party presidential candidate Dr. Ekuru Aukot after failing to provide ID copies of his supporters. Ford Asili Party's presidential aspirant Njeru Kathango has been disqualified from participating in the general elections after failing to appear before Chebukati for clearance as required. Muthiora set his voters' card ablaze. This goes without saying that there will be no independent candidate come the August polls. 4 presidential candidates have been cleared so far by the IEBC, including Raila Odinga of Azimio Coalition, Professor Jojo Takuya of Roots Party, David Moure Waihiga of Agano Party, and William Ruto of the United Democratic Alliance. Imbinda Masi, KUTV.
All right, over at the Kenya Kwanza, Deputy President William Ruto held campaigns in Garissa County yesterday, where he promised to boost the county's efforts or county's economy in case he clinches power in August. Ruto also insisted that politics of interest and establishing plans to solve current problems was a major determinant to be elected as a leader in August.
Kenya Kwanza Coalition presidential flag bearer Deputy President William Ruto has claimed that his bottom-up economic model will solve inequality problems witnessed in the country. Ruto spoke as he led an economic forum in Garissa, promising the residents that his government will boost their economy in case his coalition wins the August polls. Deputy President Ruto stated that the presidential contest in August will be hugely determined by the programs established by the contestants to solve Kenyans' problems. He added that the problems faced by the country in the past were not relevant in present day and were not supposed to get much attention, claiming that he had an exclusive plan to solve the country's current problems.
The model of the economy we have used has created the largest inequality in Kenya, and that is what we must sort out. It is not just sorting out poverty, it is sorting out inequality that is going to make this country move forward.
Ruto also claimed that politics of interest was a good basis to ensuring electorates choose the best leaders to run the country moving forward. He promised to boost the agricultural sector in Garissa to ensure the area is productive like the rest of the country and abroad. Besides, he promised to improve the processing and animal husbandry sectors besides solving unemployment issues in the county.
Tunataka mambo ya ufugaji, mambo ya abattoir ama mambo ya processing ya nyama.
With only 63 days left to the August 9th general elections, the site is of various political fronts, racing the clock-holding campaigns across the country, eager to increase their popularity before the endgame on the 9th August. Kevin Omondi, KUTV.
Murang'a County now, and the Murang'a gubernatorial aspirant, Dr. Irungu Kang'ata, has cried foul play after his running mate, Dr. Winnie Mwangi, was flagged by the IEBC for not resigning from a public office within the stipulated timeline. Kang'ata has termed the claims as unfounded and targeted at upsetting his run for Murang'a governor under the UDA party.
Murang'a gubernatorial aspirant Dr. Irungu Kang'ata has accused his opponents for raising unfounded claims aimed to bar his running mate Dr. Winnie Mwangi from being cleared by IEBC. A letter from the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission EACC claimed that Mwangi did not resign from University of Nairobi within the required time by law. Kang'ata termed the allegation from a letter petition to the EACC over Dr. Mwangi's resignation from the University of Nairobi as baseless. He said that his running mate met all requirements, accusing his competitors of using unorthodox ways to bar his running mate, who is a well-renowned and qualified scholar.
We also urge our competitors to talk to the voters. It is the voters who make a decision. They should not use fake tactics to block our clearances. We also want to assure our supporters that we are looking at that issue. We still have a lot of time legally, today or even tomorrow, or the time set by law.
As Senator Kang'ata says, we were surprised today to find a letter which unfortunately the returning officer has refused to give us a copy, but I've had an opportunity to read the contents of the letter that I would term as a malicious letter done just simply to tarnish the name of Dr. Winnie and to try and whittle down this ticket. But we have sought for some time because the timelines are there.
So far, 3 candidates, including Jamle Kamau Jubilee, Irungu Nyakera Farmers Party, and Wairagu Wamai DP, have been cleared to vie for Murang'a governorship. Their lawyer Gashi Mwanza termed the letter sent to IEBC as malicious, saying he went through the content of the raised allegations, which are aimed to tarnish the reputation of Dr. Mwangi.
We've been surprised as we got in to present our papers that the returning officer indicated that there is a letter that has come to our attention indicating and insinuating that we've not complied with Section 43(5) of the Elections Act, where it is purported that I, Dr. Winnie Mwangi, did not resign from the University of Nairobi at the time, the stipulated time by law. We want to say that these are detractors.
The county election manager, Mrs. Saumu Chirchir, gave Kang'ata till Tuesday evening to sort out the allegations before they are cleared. Pauline Joy, KUTV.
All right, let's go to Kisii County, where police in that county of Kisii have recovered crude weapons said to be intended for causing mayhem during the current election campaigns. The weapons included 4 machetes and several wooden pieces confiscated earlier from a hideout near the area electoral body's offices right in Kisii town.
The cache of crude arsenal included 4 machetes and several wooden pieces confiscated from a hideout near the area electoral body's offices in Kisii town. Among them was a reflector jacket with a candidate's photo impression. Kisii County Police Commander Francis Coley verified the incident, saying the recovery came after a tip from the public and 4 days of intelligence operations. And according to the intelligence reports received, the weapons could be around 40 and be scattered over many locations.
Today again, we did receive intelligence that there are these pangas behind it that have been hidden within the Kisii headquarters, county headquarters, where it is the entry to IBC offices.
According to the commander, the recovery hinted at a possible intent by certain persons to cause violence within the elections period. The net comes after a recent ambush on a convoy of gubernatorial and senatorial aspirants.
We have 4 names here with us, and we are going to hand over to our investigative department so that we narrow down to those ones who are to be used today. And again, we are still following up those ones who are behind this to ensure that they are brought to book.
Authorities, the church, and the general public have all pleaded for calm to prevail during the electioneering period in the area, and this should be the plea to the whole country. Eludo Bonyo, KUTV.
All right. That is what is happening over in Kisii County. I don't know what crude weapons are doing next to the electoral body's office. However, I hope no one is planning anything. Please do stay safe and ensure that, elections are just elections. It's a one-time thing. Now, more than 8,500 youth drawn from all sub-counties within Murang'a are set to benefit in Phase 3 of Kazi Mtaani program. Murang'a County Commissioner Mr. Karuku Ngumo has said that the program will assist those recruited to earn income to cushion them from the financial constraints. Wilson Irungu, Murang'a County Director of Housing and Urban Development, said the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, in collaboration with national government administration officers, have been coordinating the Kazi Mtaani program since it started in April of 2020. Right, and with that story on Kazi Mtaani, we take a short break here on KUTV Kenya's Rise Today. However, I'll be right back, so don't go too far. I'm taking a look at your feedback on social media platforms at KUTV Kenya, at Richard_OKENYE, hashtag Bishara Tuesday. Tag me up, and then I'll tell you what I think about your thoughts. Yeah, and also tell me what you think about what I think about what you think about. So don't go too far. We'll be right back.
The percentage in which government is giving opportunities to this specific type of groups under the AGPO, like what percentage has the government given?
No, but like I said, you see, when a budget is done for every year, every ministry will be able to place their budget for it. But whatever is given to them, 30% of the budget for that ministry is dedicated to AGPO. 30%. So if let's assume, for instance, that a ministry is given 2 billion, for instance. Now, 30% of 2 billion would be about 600,000? 600 million. That will be dedicated to AGPO. And therefore, when you go to a ministry, as a young person, as a person living with disability, 600 million is actually meant for you.
This is The Agenda with Benturo Komboka and Colonel Retired Cyrus Oguna.
Kenya kuna aina tofauti za hali ya anga ambazo huboresha au kuwa changamoto kwa wakazi wa eneo. Kaunti ya Makueni imeibuka kuwa bora katika masuala ya kilimo licha ya hali ya kiangazi.
Maembe huwa tunazalisha nyingi, lakini mtambo kuna ile capacity ambapo hawezi pitisha na hatuwezi chukua maembe yote. In fact tunakuta tunachukua 5-6%.
Kaunti hii imejikakamua kwa udi na uvumba kutegua kitendawili. Ukambani kuna ukame.
Tambo maji ilikuwa ngumu kupata kiasi kwa sababu kama ni pale kwa mto inapita tu inaenda. Lakini sasa hii kama imesimamishwa itakuwa rahisi kwetu.
Basi kikosi cha Boresha Kilimo kilitangamana na wakulima mbalimbali kuandaa Makueni County Edition.
Na wahimiza wana Makueni na Wakenya wote kwa jumla kuitazama kipindi cha Boresha Kilimo kila Jumamosi kuanzia saa 6:30.
What is this magic? I need that magic.
Somebody call 911. Anything for your girl, give me more.
Nasema sugri wagri, den.
Lola is an app that gives you a chance to watch videos, listen to audios, and read articles wherever you are for free. Motivational stories, dramas, campus life, technology, lifestyle, adventure, sports, academics, jobs, entertainment, and more. Download Lola now on Play Store. All you need, you got Lola.
Bila shaka, mbiu ya mgambo ikilia, kuna jambo. Na sasa, katika KUTV Rise Today, makala ya TBT. Tunaongeza kuni, tunawasha moto. Tunaingia barabarani kuangalia hali ilivyo. Takwimu za corona na kupa. Habari zinazojiri na zinazokuhusu na kujuza na kukumbusha yaliyotendeka siku kama hii ndani ya historia. Kisha na kuletea wageni na wataalamu. Tudadavui, tufahamu na tuchukue nafasi yetu kama vijana katika uongozi, uchumi na masuala ya kisiasa nchini. Na joto likizidi, tunaingia uwanjani. Tunachambua spoti ya Kenya. Ni kila Alhamisi saa 1 hadi saa 4 asubuhi. Nami Vincent Maina almaarufu Ojwang mtoto wa Mariam ndani ya KUTV, a new experience.
Alright, we're back on KUTV Rise Today. Hashtag Bishara Tuesday. Tumia your hashtag pale mtandaoni, and that's the only way I'm going to be able to see your feedback. Not the only way. You can also use at KUTV Kenya, at Richard_Kenya, and also on the SMS/WhatsApp numbers that are somewhere here on the screen. I wanted to, also speak about the finance bill of 2022, which is currently in Parliament to be debated by members of Parliament as of Thursday. Some of those things that are there is an increase in taxation of various products, including beer and digital loans. However, now the biggest sufferers who are going to be staring at this finance bill, if it comes to law, are guys who are borrowing from digital lenders. So we've been here, we've sat here and also had a look at some of those unscrupulous methods which some of the lenders, mobile loan lenders, are using to recover their money. So kuna wale ambao umetumia text to your family members requesting them to tell you to bring back money to Tala or Branch or Okash or whichever other platform that you use. There are probably like 80 plus of them, regulated, all unregulated until recently when the CBK brought laws that put them under their regulations. So now mobile lenders are going to operate like banks and microfinances under the new amendments by the CBK. That is a CBK amendment bill, and this is as of September 18th of 2022 that is going to come to law. So if the excise duty, which is currently in the finance bill, the excise duty of 20% is applied to the digital loans, which will be the cost, of course, will have to trickle down to the borrowers. 20% increase in the amounts that are charged by digital lenders passed down to borrowers, which means the loans, the price of the loans are going to go up, and accessibility is going to be a bit difficult. So be sure to check up on that, digital loans and the finance bill of 2022. This is Bishara Tuesday. We get to take a look at a lot of business, the economy, politics, and as well technology. Technology is coming to you under Tech Voice, where we have a look at the various aspects of technological advancement and how you can harness them to use in your day-to-day activities in your business. How can you plug technology to ensure you're making more money, or the stability of your business is guaranteed with the continued advancements in the world of tech that is happening in such a fast pace? So you need to be, up to date. And one of those other things that we do to ensure we are also up to date and keeping you on the same page as we are, we go out there and have a look at some of the things that guys are doing to, bring technology closer to us. What are some of the innovations that are happening in your world? Who is responsible for bringing that technology closer to us? Last year, we had a meet with one Brandon Ngugi, who's running Brand Electra, which is a company that is importing, bikes which do not use the normal tires, which do not need to be pumped with air. How exactly do these bikes work? They're called MoBikes, and some of the various features that they come with is something I want you to take a look at in this feature coming to you right about now. Welcome back to Bishara Tuesday. This is Tech Voice, and for the first time we're outside, and if we're outside, it means we used some means of transportation to get to where we are, and that's why on this very episode, we are focusing on mobility and a new piece of technology that is in the space of mobility, unlike any other that has been brought to us by Brandon Ngugi, who has joined me here to help me explain and understand exactly what he needs to achieve, or he desires to achieve, with this piece of technology.
Yes, as you said, I'm Brandon Ngugi. I'm CEO of Brand Electra. I work with a lot of technology that focuses to bring sustainable mobility to human beings wherever and whenever, to improve our nature of lives as human beings.
Right, and what do we have here?
Yes, here, as you can see, we have a piece of technology. It's raw technology, a bike, a mobile bike. Its main characteristic is high durability and sustainability on the roads, whether shared or personalized.
Right, now the first thing that I saw with this bike is that it doesn't seem to have a chain. How does that work?
Well, as you can see, normal chains have brought people a lot of problems over the years. You can see people who have chains on their bikes, exposed chains, they experience a lot of greasing and ripping problems from damage that can be mechanical or from falling and otherwise. So this bike offers an aluminum casing, which covers the chain system. It's not a chain system as such, it's a gear system that has a shaft and that changes on one variable gear. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right, and at the back there is a fitting for a solar panel. Is that meant to do anything in terms of how the bike lights up or how it powers itself?
Well, the solar panel, as you can see there, is for your safety as the rider. I think many bikes, they fall short for just using reflectors, but we want a bike that you can use during the day and at night. So that solar panel there charges over the day. As soon as dawn breaks or the evening comes in, you'll see that it will light up. Mm-hmm. Yes.
So this is a very good step in the space of clean energy.
It is.
Right. Now, in terms of how it operates on the road, how are the speeds like? How is the durability? Is this a strong bike as compared to the other ones that we see on the road?
Well, when you take the bike in hands, you'll see there's a very slight weight to it. Yes, it's an aluminium framework that is built for mainly hard conditions and sustainability in terms of rugged roads, potholes. The wheels itself do not need maintenance. They are actually rubber tires that have been strategically put in such a way that you will never need to inflate or deflate.
So you do not need to pump the bikes at all?
Never will you need that. Whether you get stuck on a nail, you step on a nail, you step on wood, whatever, it will still continue moving in the same way and you will not need to maintain it.
Right, and it has a bit of a small carriage at the front. What is the capacity to it?
Well, the normal bag or school bag, I think you cannot start vacating on a bike. You would use vacating services for that, yes.
Right.
Yes.
Now, what is it that you want to achieve with such pieces of technology that, as you said, you are focusing really in the space of mobility? Now, with this bike that we have here, what first of all do you need to or desire to achieve?
Well, as you can see, OKENYE, technology itself brings a certain luster of making life easier for you and for me. And in a space such as this, big institutions, big environments, they require people to come together in speedy movements. Some people need to go to a place very quickly, and vehicles are not accessible to everyone, as you may know. Yes, and short distances are not practical when you start using a vehicle from class A to class B. So this comes to solve the problem of the last mile. And the last mile is from where do you commute from to where your office door is. That is what we are solving here.
Right, so if this is availed to big institutions, as you said, how do you want that to operate?
Well, as I can see, like institutions such as this, such as any institution, schools, big universities, big embassies, they usually come together in an institution, and as administration, they find ways to suit the flow of their transport, the people that they need to transport from point A to B.
Right. Shared transportation seems to be a very key point in this piece of technology, or this bicycle to be specific. How is shared transportation going to work?
Well, in this case, Mr. OKENYE, to make critical mass productive and also effective, we need to offer solutions that encompass you and me, regardless of situation, stature, whatever. Yeah? So in this particular point, these bikes, they have a system that is implanted in them, a tracking system. This comes from station to station. So a bike you'll find is manned in a station A and a station B, depending on the institution's need for mobility between locations and students or workers. Yes. So you'll find that we have stations. You place one station, maybe 10 bikes or 100 bikes. Yes. And a station B also has the same number. So when a person moves from a station A to a next station B, he'll find a place to place the bike. As soon as you use the bike and you've reached your destination, your work with the bike is done. Right. So you need to leave the bike there for someone else who will require the use of the bike. Now, and that is where the shared mobility standpoint comes in.
In terms of responsibility, how do you, is there a means to ensure that these people are accountable for the bikes when they're sharing them from one station to another? I move from station A, I leave it at station B. How do you know that, how do you ensure that as Richard, I have made sure that I left it in the correct manner, or when I picked it, I was the right person to pick it at that time?
Well, we have started developing applications for that, but for now we'll use manned labor. For you to, when you take the bike, you leave a certain bit of a credential somewhere or something there, and it will have your name and your rating. Of course, if you're, everyone can monitor you as the way you ride your bike inside an institution or elsewhere. I think when you bring a damaged bike, it should be assessed by this person at the station that you've brought the bike to. So that's also a standpoint for employment opportunity.
Right, and I see this is something that can be appealing, especially since recently in Nairobi they are trying to introduce the BRT buses inside the city and limiting public transportation inside. And I feel like this is something that can be helpful in large cities. Any thought about that?
Yes, we're actually planning to roll out on cities like Nairobi and any city that comes into the encompassing rapid transport system that has been in development, as you can see. And I think this can be solving the problem of the last mile in the same way you park your vehicle, you go to a train station, you ride to the train station, yeah? So to the station, you will get, walking would be a bit tedious if you're busy or you're tired, because this is solving the problem of fatigue before arrival.
Right.
Yes, it's a short-term travel option. Yes.
And also solving issues of traffic inside the cities, because if you can leave your car elsewhere and just pick a bike that you can leave at a station and never even really have to follow up on it.
Yes,
It would be a really good solution.
Yeah, you're getting the drift now.
All right. Now, anything that we are looking towards the future from you, or anything in the space of mobility in terms of the technology, especially such as this one, into the future?
Well, this is a stage one. I think this is the manual bikes. We're also rolling in electric bike options, electric scooters, electric motorcycles and vehicles as well, because we are moving into the electric age. As you see, fuel in itself is not a green energy option, and so we are moving into the space that you'll see a mobile such as this, but with electric motors that can serve almost up to 100 kilometers and beyond. Yes, on a single charge. So you can have a vehicle that takes you all the way from here to Mombasa without needing to plug it in. Or you can plug it in whenever you feel like, and as you sleep, the same way you do your phone.
Right.
Yes.
Now, you have so much passion in this space of mobility. Any last observations that you have, and any improvements that you feel like are necessary in that space?
Well, I believe the most challenging part of this is how you view it yourself, the persona behind the mobility. You see, if you keep a culture of a certain way of movement and you be rigid inside it, you will not be able to see the expanses and the possibilities of having new technology facilitate your movement forward.
Right.
So mostly you can see the only problem that might arise here is a problem that is a persona non grata.
Right.
It's inside you, it's not outside there. So in this case, I would like people to embrace all these technologies that are coming in, because they will make life simpler and more efficient for them, and as well as cost effective, because the bikes we're bringing here will not need maintenance for over 5 years. Yes, compared to even electric bikes and battery solutions, they will take longer than servicing your vehicle every week.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you very much for having this conversation, and of course for bringing this new piece of technology to us here on TechVoice. Look at when you bring the electric scooters and electric bikes, we can be able to be the first ones to have a sample of it.
I think we will arrange for that.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay.
Sustainable mobility refers to sustainability in the world of transportation in the sense of social, environmental and climate impact. Now, courtesy of Brand Electra and Brandon Ngugi, we were able to review the mobike, which has very interesting features. One, it does not have an exposed chain just like the rest of the bicycles we're used to. It has a tracking device which enables it to move in large populations from one station to another, which maintains the security of this bicycle. Now, the spokes are non-existent as we're used to the other bicycles, but we have instead parallel bars that are fitted in the bike's tires. Now, these tires themselves do not need regular pumping, and that reduces that urge of regular and continuous maintenance of the bicycle. What are other forms of technology that you know that we can have them reviewed here on Tech Voice? Reach out to us on our social media pages at KUTV Kenya. My name is Richard OKENYE. Catch you in the next one. All right. Sustainable mobility. We'll be following up on that and seeing what Brand Electra has done since last year. I think that's a year-old worth of footage. You can check it out on YouTube. We did upload it there. If you want to ask any questions or reach out to Brand Electra, also do shoot them to us. But lazima tuangalie we know what's up. He said he'll be importing some of those and also more electric scooters as well. Something else I want to follow up on the space of mobility and sustainable mobility is Little Cab. Little Cab is the taxi hailing app, which is now, as of they said this was March of this year. They said they were introducing e-bikes and e-scooters in Kenyan universities and select Nairobi estates, and they are starting a pilot phase in the University of Nairobi with 200 of these e-bikes and e-scooters, and then rolling it out to JKUAT and also Kenyatta University. I know for sure none of it is in Kenyatta University yet. If you're in University of Nairobi where the pilot phase was beginning, do tell us. And if you're in JKUAT and you've seen any signs of these e-bikes or e-scooters from Little Cab, also do inform us. However, I'll also be sending out an email or a follow-up to Little Cab to know how that process is looking like. A ride is supposed to be costing 20 Kenyan shillings per hour with 2-hour limit. 2-hour limit in every of these rides. So 20 shillings per hour and 2-hour limit per ride on the e-scooters and e-bikes, which you can use and just leave wherever your destination is, and someone else will get to pick them through a smart system that Little Cab was planning to introduce. So we'll be following up on that, but if you have any information on the rollout, especially guys from the University of Nairobi, kindly do tell us on our social media platforms. Still on Tech Voice, on the things that we've had a look at out in the streets, kwenda kuangalia mambo mengi. So we shift our gears a bit from technology to business. Kenyan Originals. Let's pick some beer, craft beer for that matter. And Kenyan Originals is one of those companies that are offering beverages, craft beverages, alcoholic and non-alcoholic as well. So they have set operations all across Nairobi and have those drinks available all across the country. From price, I think, ranging from 170 to 265. We had a conversation with the founders, or part of the team, of the founding team of Kenyan Originals. We went and had a visit at their factory, had a taste of the beverages, the non-alcoholic beverages, and we also had them here on set some time back, of course, to help us have a look on what their future is like. Back then, when we had a conversation with them, they were merely starting. Right now, they're worth over 1.1 billion Kenyan shillings. A small operation, studio-sized operation, which has now grown to be offering, drinks all over the country and trying to pose a very big challenge to other players in the market. How are they doing that? What in their business model is appealing to Kenyans and that has helped them in their rise so far? Let's have a look, and then you can get to hear what you think about it.
Was started about 2 years ago, and actually it was initially a concept that our founder Alex came up with as a way to broaden the Kenyan beverage market and really kind of tap into the amazing local produce and local talent that is available in Kenya that people hadn't necessarily taken full advantage of in the beverage space. So I think our founder really saw a gap business-wise to build something, and then also just a really exciting project and something that can really kind of take off from a business perspective and then also from a cultural perspective. So we have a really wide network of farmers that we work with. So we're always looking for new and exciting projects to partner with, and that comes through the supply chain as well. So what we try and do is source the best produce from the best regions within Kenya, and place an emphasis on small and sustainable farms to try and source our products from. Some exciting new stuff that we're working with is a farm down in the Mara. It's a community-based project, and one of their pillars that they call of the community-based project is employment. So the way that they do that is through farming. And so we've started to set up links with them, and I think they're going to become a really good partner moving forward in the future as an exciting way to get fresh, amazing produce from the Mara, as well as support the community down there. So all of our products are from Kenya. So all of the products that we use are within Kenya that we use in our drinks. So That's kind of our USP. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, we're supporting Kenyan farmers all the time. Yeah, so the key thing about being a new brand, and especially for a beverage brand, is to drive trial. So 80% of our marketing budget goes into focusing on getting our product at people's lips. So we do a lot of work within the market, whether that be supermarkets, whether that be bars and clubs, even wines and spirits, getting people out on the street, getting them in KO uniform, getting a bit of a funky setup going, and just being able to talk to people about the product. You see such a huge difference in your sales and your business growth when you spend the time in the market talking to people, just letting them know, hey, this is the product, this is what we do, this is the process, these are the flavors, because if you don't do that, people are going to go for the drinks that they know and they love. So you need to kind of like get in people's faces to really get them to taste the drink. Yeah, so the products are a big part of it. Sourcing from Kenya gives us a very unique edge over other products. And then also my colleague Brian was talking about it, but the other side of the marketing, which is supporting Kenyan creatives, musicians, artists, dancers, the people that we call the Kenyan Originals, and supporting them, which enhances our brand, and then as well as that gives these people a platform in which to showcase their skills. And especially over the last year or so with the way that things have been because of COVID, it's difficult for creatives, I'm sure, to be able to kind of showcase their skills on a wider platform. So that's a kind of, I think that's the part of the brand that we're all very proud of and love. That aspect to it is giving that platform and then being able to utilize the talents for our benefit as well. Yeah, of course. So I mean, price is a big part of marketing. So with our ciders, it's depends on outlet to outlet. It's around 250, and the reason why it's just a slightly more expensive than other ciders and beverages in the market is because we use these fresh produce. So we're not doing it to massively increase our profit margins. We're doing it because the cost of doing that craft process is slightly more. So, but on the flip side, the value that you get from that is huge. So that's why we always sell the value, because the value of these products is better than some other alternatives in the market. And then for iced teas and tonics, it's around 150 to 170. Yeah. So the original recipes for the drinks, I think, was a bit of a trial and error, but it was inspired by some local brews that are around Kenya, and then they just over a period of time tried out different combinations. So that's how we came to the flavors that we do currently. But the cool thing is that we're constantly experimenting. So even last week we had a whole load of, I won't reveal what they were because I don't know whether that's what they want me to do, but we had like 3 or 4 crazy different flavors that we tried out, and they were amazing. So we're always kind of constantly looking for new avenues to explore flavor-wise, and then try that out in the market. And maybe some people hate it, but some people hopefully will love it. So growth, I think, is it in one word. We're constantly looking to expand. Actually, during this last lockdown period, we felt the need to get out of Nairobi, and so we started expanding into Eldoret, Kisii, Nakuru, Naivasha, and it really sold there. So that was amazingly positive for us to get out of Nairobi and see that it is moving. So continue to expand westward in the short future. And then as we continue, go to the coast. Right. I think it's gonna fly at the coast. A cold KO on the beach. I mean, sounds amazing. So I think from a product perspective, they're really tasty. I mean, going out and doing these trials in the market, what you always find is once people try them, they love them. As long as there's been sitting in a fridge, nice and cold, people really love them. So I can guarantee, if you try them, you will like them. And there's such a range of different products that there's always one that you're going to enjoy. And then taking a step back from a brand perspective, you know, you're supporting a truly Kenyan company. You're supporting the whole supply chain of Kenyan farmers, Kenyan workers, Kenyan creatives. So it's a proudly Kenyan company, and something that I think is going in the trend of kind of brands, and it's representing more than just a product. And I think Kenyan Originals really defines that. It's more than just a product. It's a whole kind of community of people that are pushing towards one goal.
I'm just happy that I've got a couple of people in here, you know, my people. Wow.
How did you rise so fast, so high, and I built your wings in the sun? Hey, so you must be an African. My life looking greater than it's ever been. My life looking greater than it's ever been.
All right, craft beverages are taking a peak, very sharp one in Kenya, and EABL have already designated 890 million Kenyan shillings, which is almost 1.1 billion worth of Kenyan Originals business, and they're going to invest that in craft beverages. If you're also someone else who wants to do that, it's something so simple that you can do. So reach out to us. Ujue venye unaweza anza pale, localized production, fresh fruits. That's what they use over at KO. Fresh fruits which arrived on that very day. So if you're taking a KO drink right about now or today, it's possible. That is something that was made this morning from fresh fruits. A very good process that you can enjoy to take a look at. Go there on YouTube. Uangalie. That feature has been there for quite some time now, since last year. I'm taking another break so that I can sample your feedback and see what you guys are saying. Online, I see Moondog Dog already tuned in from Juja, and someone else I wanted to give a shout here on Twitter under the hashtag Bishara Tuesday. Of course, we're also streaming live on Facebook. Do check out that. Arthur Okwemba, asante sana for tuning in. I'd love to know where you're tuning in from, but right after this break.
Karibu kwenye mitindo ya kipwani. Yaani unavyoona basi niko kipwani pwani tu.
Unapopika inatakana uko half cooked.
Tui ni nazi imekunwa, inawekwa kwa hii samaki juu. Wewe mwenyewe ukiangalia samaki, mtazamaji, utaona vile inapendeza.
Niko Kilifi, niko katika kaunti ya Kilifi, Magavazi ya Gede.
Samaki mwenyewe ndio huyo kidogo. Samaki kidogo iko na maajabu kwa sababu ni tumbo yake iko juu ya kichwa.
Karibu sana kwenye mitindo ya kipwani hapa KUTV, ukiwa nami nahodha mwendesha chombo, si mwingine bali ni bibie huwa linalonukia na kuvutia, waridi tamu.
Stream live mitindo ya kipwani on our KUTV Facebook page every Saturday 4 p.m.
The percentage in which government is giving opportunities to this specific type of groups under the AGPO? Like, what percentage has the government given?
No, but like I said, you see, when a budget is done for every year, every ministry will be able to place their budget for it. But whatever is given to them, 30% of the budget for that ministry is dedicated to AGPO. 30%. So if let's assume, for instance, that a ministry is given 2 billion, for instance. Now, 30% of 2 billion would be about 600,000? 600 million. That will be dedicated to AGPO. And therefore, when you go to a ministry, as a young person, as a person living with disability, 600 million is actually meant for you.
This is The Agenda with Bentura Komboka and Colonel Retired Cyrus Oguna.
The notion in the society is that a leader akiingia kwenye kiti
anakuwa kama mwingine.
Yeah. Mkubwa ni mkubwa ama Kennedy Wambuambi is different.
That's why I told you that Kathiani Central people will vote for a change. I've been there. I cannot betray my own people.
What's this type of change that you want to bring to these people in Kathiani?
The people from Kathiani have suffered a lot from previous leaders who do not have them in mind.
Access to knowledge, solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your rights and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
On Monday, May of 16th, which is just this past month, Sports Cabinet Secretary Ambassador Amina Mohamed launched a new 6-lane synthetic track at Kenyatta University grounds, which is currently being used for the Federation of Africa University Sports Games, FASU, which began on the June 4th and will be going on all the way to 10th. And a couple of universities, of course, participating. 28 universities in total have confirmed participation for the event, which is currently ongoing on the grounds as I am speaking. 1,643 athletes are expected to participate. And yesterday, of course, a few games already started in that tournament. Kisii University playing the University of Zambia, where the game ended at a 2-2 draw, and Kenyatta University against Guinea, and that match, of course, now went to Kenyatta University, who won at 2-1. The tournament has received a lot of sponsorship, and of course, it will be going on all the way to the 10th and to the 10th of June. That game between Kenyatta University and the University of Guinea ended at 1-0, and that is how it went. Today, more games are happening, so if you're able to access the grounds, ensure that you are, trying to enjoy as well. All sports disciplines will be included in the tournament, with the addition of something they're calling Gurasumo, a Borana traditional game, which will be included for demonstration purposes. So ensure you're also witnessing such exciting games that you might not have heard of over at the Kenyatta University grounds. We're also streaming it live on KUTV Kenya Facebook and KUTV Kenya Live on YouTube, and also on your television station. So ensure you're tuning into that. We shall be going over to that live stream to check out for you, and also I'll be on the ground pia kuangalia what's happening there. So if you meet us along the way, ensure you give us your regards and tell us what you think about the games and also about KUTV. However, before we get much more into FASU, that is the African Games, the Federation of Africa University Sports, which I said is currently happening at Kenyatta University. The strawberry was initially a plant that grew in mild temperatures but has adapted well in warmer regions. It has become popular around the world and is grown in nearly every country due to the breeding of new varieties that can grow under a wide range of climatic conditions. Take a look at what Stacey Atieno has compiled on strawberry farming in Murang'a County.
Because this will be one row.
Ephraim Warutera did not know that he will ever become a strawberry farmer. One day when he bought strawberries, he figured that there is a big market for strawberries and it is easy to produce. Warutera did farming as part-time, but it has turned out to be his business. He is a lecturer of electrical engineering at Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology.
We have different varieties of strawberries. But specifically the one that is most popular in Kenya, because it is high yielding and it has also sweet fruits. It is the Chadra variety. That is what we have grown here.
Strawberries have different use according to needs of the consumer, society and location. Among the uses we have strawberry as a fruit, flavors for different types of food, drinks, coloring and in beauty products, making of perfumes and so many more.
You can do the strawberry farming even with very limited space. You can either plant strawberries directly on the ground as we have done here. Also, you can plant them on containers. So even if you don't have such a piece of land, even at your backyard or even in your veranda, you can still be able to grow strawberries.
The strawberry plant takes a short time to grow, other times taking 1 month to mature after planting, depending with the species. Strawberry plant grows for 3 consecutive years before withering and dying.
Many fruiting seasons. Of course, the beauty of it is that it is a plant that will make you start putting money in your pocket within a very short period, because we are talking about 3 months.
After harvesting, a farmer is needed to select and package the produce well. The produce is perishable as it is refrigerated in a normal fridge for 4 to 5 days.
Many of those who use them locally, especially for the industry, they import because of the small volumes that are produced locally. So, of course, importation costs are higher than if the product is sourced locally. So it means that if you are able to produce in large volumes, those companies that import for their products would prefer the local berries.
Other than selling the strawberry fruits at markets locally and internationally, one can also maximize profits through business and home use. Ephraim Orutere's children maximize their produce by making juice and jam that is spread on bread. Tessie Atieno, KUTV.
All right, so you can try it out. I know. It's a very simple process. Very small tin, put in the strawberry plants, and it can work in very dim light conditions in the house or in your balcony. Try it out. I have, and then tell me what you think. Maybe you can trade the varieties of strawberry. Let's move to matters of solar. And scientists in the country are testing the region's first project using solar panels to shade crops while generating clean energy. It's called agrivoltaics. Successful trials of the technology have shown that growing crops under solar panels reduces water loss and results in higher yields in areas that are prone to drought. Juma Majanga reports from Kajiado County.
Under Kenya's scorching sun and clear skies, about 60 kilometers south of Nairobi, Ann Watkins, a local farmer in Kajiado County, is learning a new technology called agrivoltaic.
If the white fries are also mingi sana.
The technique involves using solar panels to shade crops, harvest rainwater, and generate clean energy.
This is a new technology which saves on so much, and with the climate change, and especially with the solar production, I think with the solar it's free. We have to maximize to save again on climate change, and basically to save on costs, especially in those arid and semi-arid areas.
The agrivoltaic system has been used successfully in Western countries like the United States and Germany, but this is the first such project in Africa. Year-long research with scientists from the University of Sheffield in the United Kingdom, World Agroforestry and Kajiado-based Latia Agropreneurship Institute has yielded positive results for the project dubbed Harvesting the Sun Twice.
We had two plots. We have the control plot that is grown under the normal conditions. And what we were able to know is that after the analysis, we were able to get that the crops that were grown under the panels performed better. That is in terms of the quantity and the quality.
According to World Bank data, more than half of Africa's population did not have access to electricity by 2019. Agrivoltaic technology combines land dedicated to solar panels with land dedicated to agriculture to improve food security and grid connectivity.
Over the last 15 years, over the last 20 to 30 years, all the players that have been in the agriculture ecosystem, we have put the foundations for why agribusiness is viable for the continent. Most of the technologies that we are talking about, we know which technologies have a chance of success on the continent. What really now needs to be done is to connect the dots.
After the successful rollout in Kenya, another trial is being set up in the neighboring Tanzania, the aim being to spread the technology across the continent. But farmers like Ann Watkins say they need help.
Being a capital-intensive project, the government maybe can put up policies in place when it comes to funding, maybe providing cheaper loans to farmers, and maybe organizing farmers into cooperatives, which may end up being a community project as a cooperative.
While adaptation of climate-smart technologies like agrivoltaic offers hope to farmers in the face of a changing climate, the challenge remains in the rollout to farmers in rural Africa who need such technologies the most.
All right, the Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization is running a program to reintroduce and increase population of superior Sahewal cattle in Kenya. The Sahewal breed is tolerant to arid conditions besides growing quickly. The program will also address the challenges of access to those genetics.
Kenya is among the world's leading custodian of Sahewal, a dual-purpose breed which is highly tolerant to semi-arid and arid conditions. The government has funded KALRO in a 3-year program to restock superior breed of Sahewal for the Maasai community in Transmara South, Narok County, through a community-based genetic improvement and multiplication program.
Najua wakati ile wa mwanzo sisi kama jamii ya Maa hatuwezi amini kitambo ati ndume njawa anasaliwa bila ndume. Lakini saa hii tumewaridhika njawa anasaliwa bila ndume kutumia mbinu ya AI.
Farmers are being trained by KALRO on the technology of Sahewal Kettle and are now moving away from the ordinary cow keeping to a better one which is confined.
We are moving from the ordinary to a better one which is confined, because now we have conventional and also we have an open area farming.
Hizi ng'ombe za Sahewal ni ng'ombe ambazo zinakuwa kwa haraka na kwa kila climate zinawezana kwa na kila climate.
Principal investigator Dr. Samuel Mbuku says the main challenge of the Sahewal Kettle is access to the breeding stock. He noted that since the program started, they have over 170 bulls locally with farmer groups, and the genetic material is circulating in the area.
We have found many farmers, queuing for their breeding materials from our Karo, Naivasha, station. That is and was not sustainable, and
the program has assisted the community to produce 309 superior Sahewal calves, which were distributed among members of the community-based breeding scheme in Transmara. Further, 1,234 Sahewal cattle have been registered with Kenya's stud book into either foundation or purebred classes since the start of the program.
Looking broadly, we wanted to increase the milk yield output in this area. We wanted to have many breeding animals, especially males.
KALRO hopes to replicate the program in the other parts of the country to boost Sahewal cattle production, and by the end of the program, it is expected that there will also be an increased Sahewal cattle resilience. Gloria Njoroge, KUTV.
So speaking of milk and drinking, alcohol indulgence is meant by many to be a leisure activity. However, for another lot, it has led to long-drawn battles for sobriety. Kevin Kamere took his first sip of alcohol at the tender age of 19, unaware of the struggle he was setting himself up for. Let's have a look at that.
Jawatho Village, Nakuru County. A gathering of family and friends converge for the sole purpose of celebrating one of their own. Kevin Kamere is sober again after a long battle with alcoholism. His alcohol story began at the tender age of 19 after honoring a party invite from the older boys.
Parents, addiction is a disease. Inakuanga imejificha tu, huwezi jua. Kila kitu hiyo ina manifest. Hata mimi yangu ilianza tu kama mzaha tu. Pole kajipata sasa nimepotea kabisa.
Things began falling apart for Kevin Kamere both socially and in school. He skipped classes, and what were once healthy relationships with lecturers, family and friends became strained. Only the love of a parent stood the test.
Uchungu wa mwana haujui ni mzazi. Hatukuzaa Kevin awe wa mihadarati, jina Bwana lipewe sifa. Hatukuzaa Kevin awe wa mapombe. Haleluya. Ni jambo tu shetani akaingilia. Lakini nataka kusema niko na furaha ambayo haina mipaka.
At the height of the 22-year-old struggle with alcohol, his parents felt compelled to admit him to Beyond Love Rehabilitation Center, where he is graduating with a promise to stay sober forever after.
Wazazi kabisa, watoto wanasumbua na unashindwa ufanye nini? Mtoto amekuwa umemlea na si vile ulimlea, amebadilika. Lakini nashukuru kwa institution kama hii ya kwamba inakuja kurekebisha. Mungu atusaidie. Ukiona mzazi anaumia na mtoto, mwelekeze hapa. na ninaamini watoto watabadilika, dunia itabadilika na Mungu atafurahi na tutabarikiwa wote.
Alcoholism is ranked as the third leading risk factor for poor health globally and estimated to take over 300,000 lives of those aged between 15 to 29 years. The streets lay bare Kenya's problem of drug and substance abuse. Different people cite different reasons for their alcoholic behavior. For some, it is meant to numb the pain and stresses of life. For others, it is for fun, and others purely to make a statement. Kevin urges self-control among his peers.
So, vijana, ukiwa umefika mwisho usitumie madawa. Hata kama siku hizi tumeembrace tu kutumia madawa ni kitu ya kawaida. Wali tunaelekea tu ni Mungu atuokoe, lakini sasa wewe usipojiokoa.
Dennis Omondi, KUTV.
All right, and now on this tech segment, we bring you car key cutting, programming, and replacement. Our Science, Innovation, and Technology reporter, Samson Jura, has filed this.
A key has many definitions, one being each of several buttons on a panel for operating a computer, a typewriter, or a telephone. Secondly, it means of crucial importance, for example, an authoritative figure or main person. And thirdly, which is familiar to everyone, is a small piece of shaped metal with incisions cut to fit the inwards of a particular lock, which is inserted into a lock and turned to open or close it. Of our focus is the third definition of what a key is: keys that open door locks, cabinet locks, and ignition. We had the privilege of visiting Auto Progress Locksmiths to learn about the technology behind car key cutting and programming, which we are featuring today. The modern-day automobile is operated by onboard computers, which runs virtually every aspect of a car, including the locking and unlocking of doors and the ignition process, which are functions of the key. The car key, as we know it, has undergone many improvements over the years, and instead of the conventional key, we have what is called a key fob. Peter Maina, owner Auto Progress, speaks to us about car key cutting, programming, and duplication in the 21st century using advanced equipment.
You'll find that the modern cars come with different type of keys. One, the difference with the manufacturer and the model of the car. You'll find a key like the one I have here with me is for Range Rover. It's a keyless type, whereby you don't need to insert a key to the ignition for you to ignite that car. You just need the key, whether in your handbag, in your pocket, or anywhere inside the car, and you'll be able to press the start button for you to be able to start your car.
Key fob, a smart entry system, is an electronic lock that controls access to a building or a vehicle without using a traditional mechanical key. The term keyless entry system originally meant a lock controlled by a keypad located at or near the driver's door, which required entering a predetermined numeric code. Here is an example of a dismantled key fob. The fob uses passive radio frequency, RFID, Bluetooth or near-field communication, NFC technology to gain access to the vehicle's onboard computer systems.
Yes, when these keys get damaged, like for example, I have a key here for Land Cruiser Prado. If the key get damaged or broken, you just come with the key. We are able to transfer now the transponder alone from the key, the original key, and move it to the new casing. Then we do the cutting of the new casing. You have a key resembling a new key. We only use your transponder inside to have your key repaired immediately.
The machines used to do the process of the car key cutting, duplication, and programming are quite sophisticated, and each is cut out for its purpose, as Peter explains.
So Jura, we come to this other machine here. This is automatic. It is one of the most advanced car key cutting tools globally. We have it here at Auto Progress Services. It just requires a coded number from the car door lock of the chassis number, and you'll be able to cut each and every car key, whatever, be it a Range Rover, car, a Toyota, Nissan, any model of the car, Japanese, Asian, and Europe keys.
Peter Maina says they are able to cut, duplicate, program a key according to a customer specification, including a universal key fob for their cars. Globally, car manufacturers give variety of options when it comes to making keys. Notable is the American electric car brand Tesla, which gives the option of unlocking the car using an application on your smartphone that can also help to do many other operations in the car remotely, and the use of an ID-like card that uses near-field communication technology.
Transponder is basically a coded chip that is embedded inside the key. It's a very tiny chip that is embedded inside the key, whereby it is the one that receives the signal now from the computer. It decodes that information from the computer. Whenever you insert the key to the ignition point, the immobilizer, which is the key control unit, detects that the transponder inside the key is actually coded together with the computer itself.
To connect a car key, you need a portable car key programming kit with cables to connect it to the onboard computer. After connection, follow the prompts on the display of the kit. Select keyless option while waiting for the initializing process. Once done, put a registered key on the coil of the ignition for it to copy the program, then place the new car key fob, which using the transponder will copy the program using the NFC technology. If successful, you have 2 fully functional key fobs for your car.
So client akona key mbili. So anaweza funga na hii, bado kama na hii anaweza fungua na bado zote zinaweza kurumisha gari.
With the rise of autonomous cars, the ways in which we handle every aspect of automobiles is going to change as well with the new technology. Perhaps the use of embedded chips in our bodies will do away with physical keys and key fobs in totality, but this we wait to see. Samson Jura, KUTV.
All right, now, matters of piracy. The Kenya Publishers Association has identified Nakuru County as the epicenter of Kenyan book piracy, a problem that the association claims is costing Kenyan publishers up to 40% of market share, with books being the biggest targets.
The Kenya Publishers Association KPA has identified Nakuru County as the melting point of book piracy in Kenya, with school textbooks being the biggest target as they make up 90% of Kenya's book market. KPA chairman Mr. Kiarie Kamau, while speaking in Nakuru during the launch of Kenya Literature Bureau's Grade 4, 5 and 6 competency-based curriculum encyclopedia, expressed regret that illegal books flooding most parts of the country were creating a string of losses in the book supply chain. He also noted that pirated books compromise the quality of education due to errors and illegibility of text due to poor print.
One of the greatest challenges is what we call piracy, or the menace of counterfeit. This area of Nakuru is known for rampant piracy of books. There are some crooked people who take our books, replicate them very, very fast, and whereas we sell that book at, let's say, 200 shillings, they say we are able to offer that book at 100 shillings.
Kenya Literature Bureau Chief Executive Officer Dr. Victor Lomaria, who also graced the event, also noted that piracy was also hurting Kenya's knowledge base as it discourages authors. He also made a plea to the government to write to all schools, asking them to purchase books from stores that provide electronic tax receipts.
We want to tell our teachers that please let us not buy books from the corridors. We buy books from the recognized booksellers and bookshops within the town. And where you find somebody else selling books so cheaply, please inform us so that we can come very fast and assist the association. Because piracy kills creativity, development in this sector.
Rift Valley Regional Director of Education Jared Obiero, who also graced the event, affirmed that the public should open its collective eye when buying books and report any suspicious activities to government authorities. Eludo Bonyo, KUTV.
Nature Kenya, an environmental organization, has partnered with Kenya Breweries Limited to plant over 30,000 trees in Kenyan Forest as a way to conserve water towers. This comes days after President Uhuru Kenyatta launched an accelerated national tree growing campaign to combat the challenges arising from climate change.
President Uhuru Kenyatta recently launched an accelerated national tree planting campaign where he stated that the bold actions taken by the government towards increasing Kenya's forest covers are bearing fruits.
And this fund seeks to help us secure approximately $45 million that will deliver over 1.2 billion high-quality seedlings, enact a robust, innovative forestry financing scheme, strengthen Kenya's forestry governance, and roll out a robust tree-growing campaign that will enable us to meet our climate change action commitments, as well as restore our water towers.
In efforts of conserving the environment, Nature Kenya, in partnership with Kenya Breweries Limited, have planted over 30,000 trees that have covered an area of 30 hectares in OKENYE Forest, that is part of the Aberdare Forest Block. This is to ensure water levels are restored through conservation of water towers such as the Aberdare.
Today we are OKENYE Forest, which is part of the Aberdare Forest Block, and we are here to take stock of the work that we have been doing with Kenya Breweries Limited, which is tree planting in the OKENYE Forest. In our partnership, we have planted a total of over 30,000 trees, which covers an area of 30 hectares. And this is important because then part of our work is to ensure that we're restoring the water levels.
Gibson Motete, the local empowerment program manager at Nature Kenya, stated that residents rely on the forest for their livelihood in form of water and production of food products.
The conservation work is very important, and therefore very important that, and again, can't be done by one individual or one organization. And it is therefore very important that it's not only Nature Kenya that works towards conservation of these resources. It calls upon various institutions, various corporate organizations, various individuals to come in so that we'll be able to have that synergy.
Hii program inaitwa Paris na napata mazao mengi, ingine ya kupatia watoto chakula na ingine tunauza, tukiwa wamama tunauza, tunaweka table banking. Kwa hivyo hii ukulima inatusaidia sana.
The chairperson of the OKENYE Forest Community Association, Robert Mwangi, commended these efforts as the residents are benefiting from food security and better nutrition levels, as well as increased source of income from ecotourism.
The purpose was to conserve this forest because initially it was destroyed by foreigners. So many people came from Uganda in the early 1980s. They destroyed the forest. They started burning charcoal, pit sowing, and all such kind of activities, poaching. Then the community came together. We said, do the Forest Act now. That the community, as a community, we said that we are going to own our forest, and we chased away those people who we are destroying.
The World Environment Day is a celebration that is done every year on the 6th of June, and every citizen should strive to make the environment a better place. Gloria Njoroge, KUTV.
All right. That is what is happening there in the updates that we're giving you this morning. Of course, we're still ongoing with some of the interviews that we've done out there in the businesses that guys are setting up. We already spoke about motorbikes from brand Electra. Also took a look at Kenyan Originals, which is gaining quite the popularity amongst the youth with their craft beverages. And now Notify Mall. If you've been in town in the CBD, I'm sure 1 in 3 people or some of you have seen the Notify Mall stickers all around town. They're offering you a space to do entrepreneurship without being physically in the location. They're offering shelf space. They're offering ways in which university students can gain commission through giving or advertising some of the products that are there on the shelves. If you have some little products that you want to sell online, digital, ukonaka page pale, and you don't have shelf space, they offer that for you at a very good price so that you can continue to do business but also give visibility to some of those products. They have walk-ins that customers can do in the malls that are set up in various places. So we took some time to sit down with the founders or one of the founders of Notify Mall to tell us what was the inspiration behind it and how is the business model looking like and how exactly can the youth in the country benefit from Notify Mall. Youth empowerment is the conversation we're still having here on #Bishara Tuesday. So let's take a look at this particular one.
supermarket. And then now what happens is that once you get a customer, you just tell us, and then we do the delivery for them.
So Notify Logistics have been supporting businesses that do not have the ability to set up their own physical outlets. Since 2018, they have a program that has supported more than 10,000 businesses. How are they doing that, and how has that brought them to become All right, we shall be, of course, playing you that footage again. Apologies for that. Let's get that straight. However, continue giving me your feedback. Naona hapa on Twitter, I tweeted out a few minutes ago saying that I'm on air na niko njaa, and already you guys are out here to help. I love that. Esquarter on Twitter anasema andika appeal hapo chini kwa feed, watu watume M-Pesa lunch mornings #Bishara Tuesday. Tumeni your pesa. Continue giving me your interactions and engagement. Keep tuambie una to watch from where. I hope you're not a squatter going to your Twitter handle @squatter. Of course, though, that conversation on Notify, Notify Mall, which is offering you an online supermarket, is something that we'll be queuing up for you. So don't go too far. That conversation is still coming up. There's opportunities that you can get with Notify, even if you do not have any products that you're selling, especially for university students who want to make a side, some side revenue for themselves as they go on with their studies. Right about now, let's take a small turn into technology, smartphones, optimizing of your battery life. So you complain a lot, battery yangu inakufa after a few minutes. How exactly can you use the battery that you already have and optimize its capacity? Let's have a look. Mobile phone is about as useful as its battery life. It wouldn't really be a mobile phone without a charged battery after all. But while most of us protect our phones with strong cases, we don't seem to invest as much effort in protecting our phone's battery's lifespan. So how can we keep our phone battery working in top form for as long as possible? Here are a few things that you can do. You might think that the best way to keep your battery healthy is to charge it and discharge it fully. Ideally, you should charge your battery up to about 80% and avoid having it drop lower than 30%. If this isn't practical, try to aim for a maximum of about 90% and to start charging your phone before it hits 20%. No one will argue that fast charging technologies are a great time saver. If you're intent on maximizing your battery's lifespan, though, you should probably save them for emergencies, as they can stress out and damage your battery, especially if you have an older phone. On the other hand, charging your battery more slowly is good for it. As such, charging your phone through your computer or laptop can actually be the better thing to do. A lot of apps these days track your phone's location to support their services, constantly scanning with a combination of GPS, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth and cell tower locations for maximum accuracy. To ensure that you're not wasting battery life, it's best to only let these applications access your location only when you're using the app. While features like Google Assistant and Siri can be really useful to have, they add to the battery drain of your phone, especially if they are constantly listening out for your voice commands. If you don't need or hardly use these features, it's best to disable them. We get it, your phone screen is gorgeous, but screen brightness is a major drain on your phone battery. If you need to conserve battery power, turn it to the lowest but still readable setting, and that's the way to go. Battery life will actually be extended by 30% or so by embracing dark mode. This has been Tech Voice with Richard OKENYE. Catch me in the next one. Hashtag Bishara Tuesday all over social media platforms. And speaking of social media, Elon Musk has threatened to walk away from his $44 billion takeover of Twitter, accusing the social media company of thwarting his requests to learn more about the user base. Of course, you are aware that Elon Musk a few weeks ago put out his stake to buy Twitter and take it private with $44 billion. I'm just pausing so that it can sink in. $44 billion, which no one is worth in Kenya as of the moment, up until when I rise up to that occasion. But as of the moment, he's threatening to walk away from that takeover because in his bid to regulate the platform and also ensure free speech and banishing spam and bot accounts from the platform, he's saying that the company is denying him his access and is entitled to do his own measurement of spam account. Of course, in that letter of dispute, Twitter has defended the estimates and saying that it's less than just 5% of daily users of Twitter that are spam accounts. So there's nothing much that Elon Musk should be worried about. However, in light of that, as you think about it, let's have a look at what Tech Voice has on social media. Think of social media as a big marketplace where you can come in and shop for anything you want, sell anything you want, and go. My name is Richard OKENYE, and on Tech Voice, we look at how to create a digital presence for your business. Last year, we saw how digital technology helped empower people to connect and explore new and innovative ways to work, connect with customers, create and harvest business opportunities from their homes. Small businesses are increasingly creating and expanding their digital footprint. We put together 6 things that you need to do to set up and start a successful online business, because it's never too late to start. The first one is to get a domain name. Your domain name is the heart of your business' unique address on the web. It should tell people who you are and what you have to offer at a glance. For a business, a domain name can also anchor a professional email address with the same name as the domain name. Keep it short and easy to type. Make sure it isn't trademarked, copyrighted, or in use by another company. With that in mind, you are good to go. To plan your business website, start by deciding what you want your site to do for your business. Do you want your website to showcase your business and show your products or services? Or do you want to sell your products and services online? Or even allow visitors to be able to directly buy from your website? To build an e-commerce website, you'll need to be sure you are ready to manage inventory, payment processing, shipping methods, customer service, among other elements for a successful online store. You can pick an easy DIY website builder that includes e-commerce, or you can consider hiring a professional website designer if you have an idea for a website but don't want to build it yourself. A social media presence. Having a successful online business goes beyond building a website. It is equally important for a business to connect with customers on social media platforms. Social media gives you the opportunity to share valuable information about your business and engage with existing and potential customers in real time. Include a link back to your website in interesting social posts, and this can help generate traffic to your website and help grow your business. Keep it fresh with consistent blog posts, up-to-date photos and videos, new products and services, and design improvements that reflect evolving trends. As a new website owner, you should also analyze and evaluate what is working and what can be improved. That has been it for Tech Voice. See you in the next one. Right, more on technology. That was battery, and we've been having a debate, by the way. Is it battery or battery? Yeah, let me know on you can send a voice note on the SMS/WhatsApp numbers that are somewhere there. Battery or battery, tomato, anyone out there, help us. That was social media by Tech Voice here on KUTV Rise today. Let's take a look at a few fun facts as well.
If there was a genius so versatile but presented as a simple electronic device, the smartphone will comfortably be that object. I am Richard OKENYE, and on Tech Voice this Tuesday, I take a look at the things your smartphone does that you probably did not know it does. Although we know some of these basic features that our smartphone devices can do, not many people know of the other incredible functionalities that they are capable of. These are the quick ones I could highlight. With increased heart-related issues, it is necessary that you measure your heart's health regularly. The good news is that it can be done with your smartphone without having to take a trip to the doctor. Without any need for external hardware, apps like Cardio, Blood Pressure Companion, Instant Heart Rate will give you an accurate reading of your heart's rhythm and pace. The Viper Smart Key system also allows you to replace your car keys with your phone. When enabled, you can lock and unlock your car and even disarm an alarm without even taking your phone out of your pocket. Interested in measuring really tall things? There are several apps that can measure practically anything for you through your camera lens. Talking of cameras, your smartphone's camera is indeed sensitive to infrared radiation, and if you want to try it for yourself, just use a common remote control. The IR beam emitted when a button is pressed on the remote will show a white or purple light in the viewfinder of your camera app. You can use this trick to check if your remote control's battery is dead or it has stopped working. Seek Thermo is a tiny camera that attaches to your smartphone so that you can get a thermal image of anything around you, showing you a temperature snapshot of your environment. It gives you the thermal technology that was once only available to the military and other related professionals. If you want a quick way to digitize or just view your old film negatives, you can use your camera's negative effect or take advantage of some of the many specialized apps like the Helmet Film Scanner. If you're using an Android device, the Google's app lets you search an image captured with your phone's camera. You can identify famous paintings, find information on products, or learn more about a historic landmark. Some users find it too difficult to keep a track on their blood alcohol content in the body. Just install the related apps and get a better outlook of your health status. Some premium devices actually now come preloaded with the such kind of featured apps that can comfortably measure your alcohol content. What are some of those smartphone features that you feel are not available but could be made available? What are some of those smartphone features that you are looking forward to seeing in the near future? This has been Tech Voice. Catch you in the next one.
All right, so last week there was this very interesting link I was sent by my very able producer, Bwanangure, from Twitter by Wolf Financial, and they're asking, would you rather take a guaranteed $1 million or flip a coin for $1 billion? I've taken a short survey in studio, and the question is, would you rather take a guaranteed $1 million or flip a coin for $1 billion? So if you take heads and say if it comes heads I get $1 billion, if it goes tails you go to nothing. So it's nothing or $1 billion or just the $1 million. A few guys are saying they will take the chance and flip the coin, including my producer who said he definitely flip the coin for $1 billion. However, my take is that I just pick the 1 million and make it $1 billion. Yeah. So many business opportunities, so many things that you can do with $1 million and try and make it $1 billion rather than going back to the same spot. I don't think I want to go back to zero. However, I'd love to know your opinion on Twitter at KUTV Kenya, the hashtag Bishara Tuesday. Would you rather take a guaranteed $1 million or would you flip a coin for $1 billion? I'd love to know that also on the live stream. Thank you very much for tuning in to the show. It is 9:48 in the morning. It's been exciting to be here for close to 3 hours. Remember the FASU Games, yeah? Africa Students University. university students games are happening in Kenyatta University's grounds, and this began June 4th and going all the way to June 10th. So if you're around and are able to show up, the live stream will be there on KUTV, Facebook, on YouTube, and also on your television stations. Right after this show, we'll be streaming that of those games. Make sure that you are tuning in. 28 universities already confirmed. Yesterday there were games, football matches between Kisii University, Zambia, Kenyatta University, and also Guinea. So today much more is happening, including a very experimental game from the Borana, a traditional game from the Borana. So tune in for that and get to learn a bit more. We also did try and do youth empowerment throughout the show this morning. I just realized that going through the papers, I only mentioned just the bad news, I would say, that is happening all over. Fuel prices, coffee, tea, mambo kama hayo, cost of living. But there's good information in there. There's how you can trade. There's information for startups. A lot of funding is coming into the country. Kenya is rising to be among the top 3. It is actually the top 3 in the top 3 most funded countries in Africa. Over $1 billion already been given to startups in the country in the year so far, just a few 6 months. But all these startups are, getting money to do business. So if you're someone out there who's trying to start and have a few ideas, there's opportunities online. As I always say, the universe is an infinite resource. One of those other resources you should be take advantage of is Trace Academia. Trace Academia, of course, under the Trace global brand, giving you free courses and certification. traceacademia.com, and also through an application that you can download on iOS or App Store. Get that, get yourself free courses on the go, short 2 hours, 3 hours. Alafu you also get opportunities to get a career or internship out there if you're unemployed. But if you're employed, it's always good to get more skills. I'm definitely going to get myself a few more skills in finance and also in entrepreneurship that I can be able to share here. So that conversation, if you missed out, we had the discussion. We had the discussion with the business development head over at Trace, and we'll be uploading it on YouTube, and also can roll back on our Facebook, where we've been streaming live on KUTV Kenya. Have a look at the dailies, yeah? Gazeti si ya kufunga tu nyama. Much more information happening there that can help us build up all the way to next week on Tuesday. This is KUTV Rise Today. We run all the way to Friday morning. Monday, Jana, you had art and culture. Monday with Karen Blessing, showcasing a very good film that is coming up. And we'll try and show up there. If you missed it, all her interviews are also on YouTube. Go watch it. Tomorrow, Wednesday, WCW, Nina Gikunda. On Thursday morning, TBT with the Juang Mariam, makala ya TBT on the Throwback Thursday show. On Friday morning, kijana mshenzi sana, Emperor Sheka, will be here giving you a very awesome show on entertainment. Team Weekendi, kubwa sana hapa hivi, as you entertain yourself all the way into the weekend. On Saturday, there will be an event I'm sure that Emperor Sheka will be telling you about, so something to look forward to on Friday, where Emperor Sheka will inform you mahali tutapatana weekendi, and I will also definitely be there before I come back on Tuesday morning to speak on matters of business, technology, and the economy. All those conversations you guys have given me on social media, asante sana. My personal handle at Richard_OKENYE, very simple, all across social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook as well. Tutaonana next week. As you learn, do not let education interfere with your learning. That's something I've been told to say by one of our members here in studio. However, as I sign out, if you want to have breakfast in bed, try sleeping in the kitchen.